Hi, Mark here from the Tangent-Bound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangent-Bound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangent-Bound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangentBoundNetwork.com and see if Tangent-Bound Network is right for you.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swaps it with Earl so it glistens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
The boys will let you know when there's a spurner. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey enthusiasts, what's going on? This is Salty Language, episode 299.
The not highest podcast on the episode on this 420 dog.
Yeah, I almost introduced it as episode 420, man.
Hey, man.
Yeah. You know, I gotta tell you.
What's up?
This is one of my least favorite days on Twitter because there's so many awful, hacky jokes. More than normal, you know?
That's fair.
So many. Like, there's just so many that it's like, oh, there's so many high people writing tweets right now.
Yes.
But what are you gonna do? You know, it's part of the game, I guess.
It is part of the game.
Yeah.
It is part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like you said, what are you going to do?
Yeah. I found it interesting that
Wait for the cloud to clear, man.
Right? I found it interesting that the news channel, or like the local news today was talking about, you know, whether pot is good or bad, and
right.
You know, the ongoing fight from a lot of places. You know, they were showing that there was some demonstration put on by a bunch of, you know, nerds that I can't even say nerds. I can't say nerds because I like nerds. You know, they're just, you know, I don't know what the word, buzzkills that, you know.
They're real bummers, man.
Yeah, real bummers, man. narcs. No,
Yeah.
But, just people who are, like they were college students and they're like, we're all about the healthy living and no drugs. And I'm like, yeah, go to hell. No one cares. And they were marching, like, I think they march under the name, like, we are the majority or something. And I'm like, you need to check your math. You are the majority, but that number's getting a lot smaller.
Right, exactly.
And, whatever. We've talked on this before. It's like, I don't give a shit. But it was just kind of interesting how there's been more and more of that dialogue on television and such over the last few years as more and more states, have cleared it for at least medicinal use,
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah. I mean, the state we live in and, Ohio and Michigan both are medicinal states. So,
Yeah, exactly.
But I just thought that was kind of interesting because it hasn't been all that long ago to where they wouldn't even talk in any positive light about it on TV.
No, it was the devil's lettuce.
Yeah. They're like, a recent study showed that the worst product imaginable actually might have some health benefits.
Yeah, that's basically it. And honestly, the older I get, the more I'm like, maybe I'll reintroduce that into my life.
Yeah.
Because basically the only time I ever would partake in the past was when I was just completely hammered and it's just around.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't know how it affects me when I'm not hammered.
Yeah. And there's a lot to that too, that, there's a lot of people that, they feel that you shouldn't mix the two because you kind of kill the effect of one with the other a little bit.
Right. And I get that.
Yeah. So, you're right. It might be. But, and just even looking aside from like a recreational reason of using it, but it's, you got a shoulder that nags you a little bit and, like once in a while might be a nice relaxer for that,
Yeah, it might be.
Or your popcorn neck or.
Yeah, it's just did it. I mean, yeah. Exactly. Who knows?
Exactly.
Or I might want to, try to relax a little or just, take a heroic amount and go visit the spirit world.
A heroic amount. That's my favorite. Yeah. But,
Either way.
Yeah. And it's like me. I'm the same, same way, with the anxiety and such that I have. I could probably see some benefits from it. I got a knee that nags me all the time, so it's, we got reasons, but it's,
exactly,
whatever. So yeah, I'm with you. I think the older I get, the less I never really cared that much. It's like the only thing I hated about it with other people essentially was the smell. Like I really don't love the smell of it. And,
right.
I know a lot of people do and that's fine. And I know there's different smells too, cause different strains probably smell different or whatever, a little bit, but whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it is funny though, as we've both gotten older, it's just like, whatever.
Because when I was young, I was like, I'm not a druggie, man. Yeah. Hand me some more whiskey.
Yeah. I know, right? That's my thing is why, whenever I hear somebody argue against it and I'm just like, look, booze is legal. Cigarettes are legal. Both are way worse,
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like, look, if we're going to allow those, like, I don't have a problem with, well, then where do you stop the line? It's like, well, heroin is terrible. I'm not a person who's really a big fan of legalizing heroin,
I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say odds are I'm not going to start karate kicking everything if I take a couple puffs.
You might. Don't rule anything out.
You never know.
Yeah, don't rule it out.
Bowie seemed high as fuck, and look at him.
True. I was going to say, let's not rule anything out here, Maybe
but I'm just saying. I already know what sort of animal gets unleashed when I get super drunk.
Yeah. Raccoon/werewolf, depending on which stage you want to go to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I said, I don't know what sort of animal I would become. I'm hoping sloth.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
From Goonies, right?
Yeah.
You're just going around wanting Baby Ruth all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Superman shirt and suspenders.
Yeah.
Good luck. For sure, love the tuft of hair on top of the head.
Uh-huh. I thought about doing that as a Halloween costume. But not doing anything to my face, but just wearing a Superman shirt with the suspenders and stuff and just tell everyone that I'm, oh my God, I just forgot his name already. Fuck.
Sloth? Are you sure you're not partaking on this 420?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think I have any good 420-esque sound effects. Oh, well. Oh, that was super loud.
Yeah. Well, Flav is very excited, apparently.
Oh, my God.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing. But a very loud Flav.
Oh my. Oh my.
Yep.
Yeah, it's something though. So, if you're one of the people that, well, by the time you hear this, it'll be over, but, if you enjoyed that, then hey, happy 420 to you or whatever.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
The sound of a can opening.
Nice.
But it's nothing exciting. It's a lime LaCroix.
Oh, gangsta. Damn, man. We roll tough through this show.
I know, right?
I'm drinking a wild cherry Pepsi. Ooh.
Next time we're gonna put a hole in the bottom and shotgun it. What?
That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna enjoy my LaCroix, not shotgun it.
Yeah, all that carbonation it's not like beer
carbonation.
It'd
be a terrible idea.
Yeah, because that kind of carbonation will burn like fire. You know what else burns like fire?
Fire? Gonorrhea?
There you go. I was like, wow, I'm surprised you actually went with fire.
Flaming hot lava piss?
All of the above, yes. Oh, God, yeah, especially that last one. So today, my mom washed the, covers.
By washed, you mean washed?
Washed, yeah. One of the cushion covers on the couch, right?
Uh-huh, right.
So, she takes the cover off of the thing. I
gotta ask a simple question.
Okay.
Why only one of them?
Well, there was an accident by my nephew that stayed over last night. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's acceptable.
Yeah, and so I'm helping her try to stuff the cushion back into it because after washing and drying it, it's I don't know if it shrunk or if it's just that much of a pain in the ass to put the cushion in.
It's like when we were kids and every cereal came with a toy and you'd pull the bag out and trying to put that bag back in the box and maintain the integrity.
Yeah, exactly.
Was a problem.
Yep. And that really was what it was. Well, as I'm moving at one point and I'm kind of stuffing the pillow back in, I didn't realize that where my hand was right by the zipper and the thing slipped out of my hand and the zipper just caught my finger and tore two good sized chunks of, skin out of my finger, and I got two. It basically, how there's the flames after the DeLorean, hits 88 miles an hour and goes back to the future.
Yeah.
That's basically what it looks like on my finger. It's like these two.
So are you
track
saying
lines.
you had the littlest time travel experiment done on your finger?
Yes, that zipper. Who knows where it went? Yeah. But I'll tell you this. It bled like crazy, and it hurt like a bitch for about 5 minutes.
Isn't that exciting how little tiny wounds like that do that shit?
Yeah. So then I slapped some new skin on it, which burned for another couple minutes and, wrapped it in a bandage.
Wait, new skin? Do you just have jars of skin laying around?
Yeah. No, it's the stuff that actually I have it because of bowling. Cause sometimes
it's like the liquid bandage shit,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Cause you'll get a skin tear or something from, the bowling ball rubbing your thumb or something. So, but
do you guys some of that I could slap over my dog's ass and maybe plug it up?
I don't think it's that strong.
Cause it's pretty awful right now in here.
Somehow I feel like you're just blaming the dog for it.
These are the wrong clouds to enjoy on 420.
Well, yeah, that is not a bong you want any part of.
No.
Ooh. The old Bella bong.
Oh, exactly. It's
my.
fucking gross.
Yeah. But yeah, man, so it's like in the middle of my, it's like the middle knuckle of my finger, if you can see where it's at. So every time I bend my finger, the skin moves and it hurts again. And I'm just going to cut the finger off.
I have a story that's similar to this, my friend.
Yeah.
I have a story very similar. Just this weekend.
If this has to do with your dick, I don't want to hear it.
Not this time.
Okay.
Just this weekend.
Yeah.
When we were in Flint, we were in the pool and I was swimming around and chucking my kids about and all that.
Wait, you went into water in Flint?
Yeah. I didn't drink it. I just swam in it.
All right. Did you lose all body hair when you came out?
That was the goal.
Oh, okay.
I need to be as glistening as Neil.
You got to spend some time in the sun, though. He's a tad darker than you.
Well, this is true, but that's also ethnic.
I didn't say that.
I did.
I know. Damn it. All right. Anyway.
It's not quite Cinco de Mayo, but
oh boy.
But so I did the old torpedo maneuver when you bounce off the pool wall, go under, because I was going to like completely annihilate Leah.
Yeah.
And I just wrenched my elbow on the bottom of the pool. And if you've been in a pool, it's a very smooth. Nah, it's a terrible surface. It's like the moon.
Yeah.
And I completely, it's not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah.
I completely like ripped open my elbow. And it's the same thing. It's right where the flesh bends.
Yeah.
So every time I'd bend it, it'd like crack open again.
Right.
Like my arm was like sticking to the carbs armrest and shit. It was really gross.
Oh yeah. No, I understand that. I have a really awful spring mattress on my bed, and one of the springs has now poked through. And where it's at, I went to turn over the other night.
That is exciting.
Yeah, I've got a ridiculous long, like fairly deep scratch on my arm. It's almost a cut at one point, but
you might want to do something about that spring.
Yeah, like get a new bed is what I need to do. But
there's that.
I also, in fun injury news, I added to my list of, head trauma the other day.
Really?
Yeah, we have a sliding door, and, we put a stick down, for added security, basically.
Right.
And, so I do that, and then as I go to raise up, we have these long blinds that kind of snap into place, like individually, as the blinds for it. And, there was those binder clips that are about, a couple inches big. They're black. They have the metal things that slap around the sides,
For sure.
So we have this big one of those on there, kind of holding some of them back, because otherwise when the wind blows, they get annoying, so we did that to hold them together. And then there's the stick that, you twist that turns the blinds open and closed.
Right.
Well, I raised up right underneath that clip, caught the back of my head on the very end or corner of the binder clip. Well, instead of the binder clip like popping off or sliding up, that bar was right there, so it just hit that bar. So there was nowhere for the binder clip to go except, to continue the pressure into my head, basically. So
lovely.
It burned like I thought I was sure that it cut me, and so I'm like holding my hand, like I'm a pro wrestler, after they get hit and they just keep touching the area like 40 times. So I keep like touching my head, making sure I'm not bleeding. And I'm like, and then finally I'm in my head, I'm kind of like, dude, if you were bleeding, it's a surface area of your head. You'd be gushing blood, basically, like
Crimson Mask.
Yeah. So, but man, it hurt like hell too. I had a knot there for about 2 days from it. It was I highly recommend that if you ever have a chance.
Well, first off, how did you not just completely knock the wall out like some sort of demolition device?
All I can say is it must be built sturdy. That's a hell of a binder clip. That's what I can say.
Goddamn right.
Oh man.
Space age materials.
Right. Yeah. So I've had a fun week of just, apparently I'm trying to kill myself with the weirdest injuries instead of doing something major. I'm just going to try to slowly bleed out via paper cuts and, spring cuts and yeah.
If I'm going to give you any advice, do not do that anymore.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good advice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Huh.
Who knew, right?
Yeah. See, we're bringing great things with the last couple podcasts. Last week we talked mindfulness. This week we're talking about how to avoid stupid injuries. Also true. Oh, I also hit my head getting into a car again, which if I had a nickel for every time I did that, I'd be rich, but I'd still have a hard time counting those nickels. Shouldn't we maybe get you a convertible? I thought you were going to say helmet, but convertible might be the better idea. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. It's a good time. Again,
Sounds like a great time.
Highly recommend it. If you haven't hit your head, hundreds of times getting into vehicles, you're just not living. That's.
It's like Red says from Shawshank. If you're not living, get ready to die. I don't remember what the fuck he says.
If you ain't hitting your head on a getting into a car, you're already dead. I don't know. I don't remember.
It's something like if you're not busy.
You can either get busy living or get busy dying or something like that.
That's what it is.
Something like that, yeah.
See, that quote would have been terrible for the situation.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing I couldn't remember it.
Yeah. I feel really bad because I've seen that movie enough. I should remember that quote. Even though it's been a while since I've seen it, I still feel like I should know that one. But yeah, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Misquote movies and in terrible situations like I just did.
You are correct, sir. So.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So, it was interesting, little bit interesting week for me. We just recorded the 100th episode of The Crazy Life last night. So
are you saying this is a week of anniversaries?
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. That show hits that, and then in a few about a month we hit our 2-year mark on that show.
I feel like I need to start our podcast just to keep up with the cool kids.
I know, right? I think I'm going to start another one.
I don't even know if I were to just start a random podcast right now, I would have no idea what it would be.
You do realize we've talked about like 200 different ideas for podcasts. So you could just take any of them. Yeah, but you could just take any of them.
They all involve you.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm not going to do a old school wrestling podcast by myself.
It's true, because you'd just be getting all sorts of #MoreBrian comments.
Yeah, and I for sure can't convince my wife to join me for that one either.
You might.
Let's watch some old school wrestling. She's like, no.
Maybe.
No.
No? All right.
I'm sure I could get her involved in something if I wanted to, if I asked nicely. But she's, it could be the professional guest podcast. I just produce it and have people who are professional podcast guests be on it.
Yeah, that would work.
That would be fun.
That would be something, that's for sure.
Or I could realize that I barely have spare time as it is. And
yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, accurate.
And if you're going to do another podcast, it should probably be the Quantum Leap podcast.
Oh, that's definitely needs to be.
Or the wrestling podcast.
Yeah, really should be doing that.
Or the beer podcast we talked about. Or the
definitely should be doing that one. Yeah. And there's that one, the wrestling one I mentioned. For sure should be doing that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, what we do is if we were going to do something like that, is just do one at a time, record, say, 10 episodes, call that a season, and then just rotate through them.
I like it.
Like do 10 of one, 10 of another, 10 of one, and then go back to the beginning and do it again that way. And we'll just rotate through them. That way we can actually handle doing them. So we wouldn't be trying to do like 5 other podcasts. It'd just be one more at a time.
Right. One more time.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's, it's always cool when you do podcasts and you hit a number like, 100 or whatever, because it's,
300.
Yeah, we're not talking about that yet. Oh, wait, yeah, we are. Next.
Oh, shit, son, it's business time.
Our next episode is our 300th episode. So if you'd like to send anything to us, send it to saltylanguage@gmail.com or hit us up on social medias, or you can call the sexy line.
It's 415-857-2589.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sure is.
Yep. So there you go,
That's where all the essential activities happen.
Not all of them, but.
Well, a good portion.
A lot of them, yeah. So yeah, that's, like we said, if you'd like to send something in for that, that'd be cool and very much appreciated. If not, we're just going to chastise everybody, and that's fine too. So.
Oh my God. The chastising.
Because it's mind-boggling to you, yeah.
It'll be mind-boggling.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yep.
Mesh. Quite.
I feel like there was something else I was going to mention there. Oh yeah, since we're in the business section, might as well handle all the business.
All the business?
Mm-hmm.
What you got?
If you'd like to help the show out a little bit, we have a sexy Patreon link over at saltylanguage.com. And
it is sexy.
You can click on that. It'll take you right to our Patreon page. There's various levels you can choose, or you can just choose to throw, whatever. If you have a spare $600,000-$700,000 laying around a month, why not help your boys out?
Oh, sexy.
Why not just help us out a little bit? It's not, you barely even notice it's gone.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a tax write-off.
Exactly. Our lawyers
given to the needy.
Our lawyers just informed me that it may not be a tax write-off. Man, those guys
depends
are
on how you classify it.
Well, you can just lie.
I mean, I'm pretty sure since this podcast brings such joy to the masses that it could be considered a charitable donation.
It should be. Yeah.
It should be. It should be. We are doing God's work.
Hey, it's true. We are. We're on a mission. From God.
From good.
Yeah, so anyway, but if you can, as little as like $1, type of thing, still get you a little something. I mean, you gotta get more than that to get, the sensual pictures from Tony and I, but.
How am I gonna keep myself testicle deep in LaCroix?
Only testicle deep, huh?
I don't want to get too crazy.
Are we talking like your baths with LaCroix, or?
Well, duh.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Jeez.
What, do you pick a flavor, or is it just whatever you have?
Well, it's got to all be the same flavor.
Yeah, well, I would think so.
Because what am I, a fruit punch drinking asshole?
Yeah,
Hell no.
Well, maybe.
No?
All right. Well, what if fruit punch was on sale?
Well, no, I mean, because I don't think there's a LaCroix fruit punch.
I don't think
but
so
I'm not going to mix, 4 different LaCroix flavors and make my own fruit punch.
Right. I get you.
I mean, when I get it out of the tub, it's for sure fruit bowl punch.
Yeah, it is. Nobody wants to drink that.
No, exactly.
If you do, though, hit us up at saltylanguage@gmail.com.
Yeah, sure, I'll bottle it and send it to you.
Oh, God.
Exactly.
I'm just picturing the label with its, like one of those old-timey recipes or something to where it's like grandma whatever's, pasta sauce or whatever. And just be like, you with a ladle and a bottle or something like that.
For sure.
Oh, God.
Feel like,
Uncle
Tony's Bathtime gravy tonic or something.
Oh, God. I just like Bathtime gravy. That's just perfect right there. Oh, God.
Enjoy. It'll put hair on your chest.
Well, yeah, it'll be your hair it's putting on their chest, though.
For sure. Thanks to science, you for sure won't be pregnant.
At the bottom, it's got a little, this claim may or may not be unsubstantiated. Just in case. Oh, boy.
Or put the little word explosion bubble on the label and just says, now seedless.
It makes sense. I mean, look at all the things now that say gluten-free on them that have always been gluten-free.
Yeah, exactly. That's my favorite, actually, when I see that. You look at beef jerky and it's gluten-free.
Yeah.
No shit.
It's shouldn't it be? I don't, yeah.
You're telling me you don't roll my beef jerky in flour before you throw it in the bag?
I use it as a thickening agent inside the flour or the beef jerky. We need to put out our beef jerky with extra gluten.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which would be
gluten jerky.
Which would be any gluten at that point.
Also true.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the Patreon thing. It's if you want to help us out that way, that's much appreciated. You can also click on the Amazon link on there. It'll swing you right over to Amazon.com. You buy everything in sight. Max out all your credit cards. Get a second mortgage on the house.
Yep, definitely.
Cash in the kids' college stuff because they're stupid and not going to use it anyway.
Exactly. Yep. You're not going to need your retirement. Cash that in.
Yep. Everything.
I mean, once the apocalypse comes, that's just numbers, man.
Yeah. So you might as well just live the good life now. And by doing that, it'll chip a little something off to us so we can also live the good life.
Right?
Or, I mean, you can go
when the apocalypse comes, we will rule as your kings.
I'm pretty lazy. I don't know if I want to really rule things.
We really just have to just sit there.
Oh, okay. Then I'm in. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm back in. Go on Amazon and buy Tony LaCroix.
Yeah, exactly.
2 for 1 right there. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Get a
Nice.
little money and the LaCroix that way. Perfect.
Exactly.
And then
cuts down my production costs. Means I can bring you Bathtime gravy for cheaper.
which is what everyone is wanting.
Right?
They're like, this is so expensive. And it's like, well, it's like the nectar of the undergods.
Yeah. It's like, I am providing you the finest of the cheapest bathtub gravies.
It's the champagne of bathtime gravies.
Indeed.
Oh, man.
And of course, Brian, if we ever did start brewing our own beer, Bathtime gravy would for sure be one of them.
Okay, so what kind of beer is Bathtime gravy? Because obviously it's got to be thick.
It's got to be a stout of some sort.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
For sure an imperial stout.
Yeah. Oh, man. Whew.
It's got to have a high ABV, so it has that tang.
Yeah.
When you're drinking it.
Right,
you know?
naturally. Yeah,
so there was Bathtime gravy in your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, 100%. It needs to be the kind of thing where you probably aren't going to have a lot of them.
No. It's like a one and done.
It's not because of the ABV. It's just that tang is so overpowering.
Yeah, it just wrecks your palate.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. That's something. I think the show might be called Bathtime Gravy.
I hope so.
We'll see. We got a lot of stuff left.
Let's see. We got a lot of show ahead of us.
Yeah.
There might be some other amazing comedic bomb that's going to drop.
Very true. Very true. Very true. All right. Well, I think.
Some call us, Brian, the ISIS of comedy.
Oh God. I did not ever make that claim.
No,
I would like to send Tony's opinion. That is Tony's opinion. If you'd like to send him an email, damn it. Oh my. So do you have any other business to take care of?
Not really, because we do all the shameless plugging towards the end.
Yeah.
So I think we covered all the business that we need to cover currently.
Fair enough. So how was your week?
It was good. We did the old Flint thing, which was fun, and the Easter thing, which is good, and the whole mindfulness nonsense has been working out pretty well, and it's amazing how it's like a little reset to the brain sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Just got to flush your brain once in a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because I could definitely, like, over Easter weekend, because we went to Flint. And then the next day we came back and we went, we had Easter.
Mm-hmm.
And those 2 days I did not do my old 10 minutes of flushing. And I was trying like the Dickens at my in-laws because I was getting nutty. I'm like, I'm just going to sit here and try to, too much nonsense.
Yeah.
Like I realized I need to be in a quieter zone.
Yep. There's
too much activity going on and I'm about ready to start spin kicking everybody.
Right. That's why you've seen it a couple of times when I've been somewhere where I'm like, I got to go outside for a minute. Like I got to, I mean, it's either that or I don't want to crop dust everyone. No, I'm kidding.
For sure.
Yeah. Like, this smells like easy cheese. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's the worst. Where'd that savage go?
Good question. She's just ruining the whole house now.
Probably.
So how was the Easter at with Dev?
It was great.
Yeah.
First off, he lives in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
I know that's a running gag on Snake Oil Comics and Shot of History. It's true.
I think he lives in Dexter's cabin, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's just way out in the middle of nowhere,
It kind of felt like that driving there.
Yeah.
Because, from Flint, it was like a 50-minute drive, I think, or at least from our hotel, because we stayed just outside of Flint.
Mm-hmm.
But, it was awesome. We showed up, I'm like, I sure hope this is the right house.
Well, if not, it is now. Like, if the door's unlocked, you're going in.
But, yeah, we had a bunch of family there, and his parents were super welcoming, and got to meet George's dog, which was an awesome dog.
Right.
It's funny, because he's got this big lumbering pit bull that just wants to make sweet love to you, like our dog does.
Huh.
And then there's this little wiener dog walking around named Thunder. And Dev's mom's like, watch the little one. He's drawn blood before.
All right, then.
Which always seems to be typical of little shit dogs.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, she probably also warned you because you generally have meat sticks in your pockets, too.
Well, this is true.
Yeah.
I mean, I always come prepared.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was a little odd because I told Dev, I'm like, we're going to show up with salad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because originally we were going to bring kielbasa and stuff, and then we're like, we're going to be in the car. How are we going to keep it warm? And
although, if you came in telling the story of how you went to Dev's house and dropped basa.
That's true. I mean, considering last week's show would have been perfect. But it's probably a good thing we didn't bring kielbasa because there was so much food.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it was all delicious, but there was, like multiple hams, and there was so much food.
Was there a rum ham?
There was no rum ham, which I was sorely disappointed by.
This needs to start happening. People need to start making rum hams.
I know, right? But we left at 7 a.m. that day to head up there because we had to get there by 10 for our appointment at the college, for Logan to look at, which I'll get into that too. Okay. But ran out the door, and when we're already on the road, it's like, I didn't bring anything to like make a salad in, nothing.
Nice.
Because my original plan was bring like salad bowl and then hit a store, build the salad there.
Yeah.
Yep. So I was like, fuck. But in my researching of, stores in Flint, I was like, they got a farmer's market. So I was like, well, if our college appointment goes well and we've got plenty of time, let's hit the farmer's market because I'm sure there'll be something there we can bring.
Yeah.
Which, college thing went great, which, like I said, I'll get to that. Went to the farmer's market. Dude, Flint's got an amazing farmer's market.
Really?
Who would have known, right?
Yeah.
It's like an indoor joint. It's got multiple restaurants in it. There's meats and all kinds of veggies. But this bakery we found called Crust. Mm-hmm. Dude.
All they have is crust from sandwiches, right?
If so, it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Still.
There's a sandwich place next door. They just cut all the crust off and then sell it at Crust.
Dude, I'm telling you, I had some legit baked goods from that place. Like, I could have bought a 4 kilogram, I think it was 4 kilogram loaf of bread that was 18 inches in diameter.
Wow.
But I decided not to.
Right.
But we got a couple loaves of bread, and we bought some beer because their farmers market. Not only does it have a beer and wine store that had beer I've never seen before, they have a second floor tap room.
Huh. Interesting.
And it's like, if the kids weren't here, we'd probably go have a couple pints.
Yeah. But since the kids are here, you had like 15 pints.
Exactly, because clearly they can drive.
Mm-hmm.
But big fan of the Flint Farmers Market. Who knew?
Yeah.
But anyway. But yeah, so we brought bread, and I went and bought like dips and stuff, spinach artichoke dip and whatever else for said bread.
Right.
But man, the amount of food was off the charts. Tasty desserts. Dev made a nice Oreo peanut butter cheesecake situation.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I think it was one of his cousins. She walks in with her boyfriend and she starts to introduce everybody. Like, oh, this is my uncle so-and-so, and this is that person, this. And then she looks at us, we're all sitting, like, all 4 of us are sitting in the corner, and she just, like, pauses. I have no idea who they are.
It's like, are you holding us hostage? What's going on here?
But no, it was awesome. We had we had a nice big dinner, and then we had dessert, and then, Jeannie, Dev, and I, and my kids were like, when are we leaving? Because they were just, no one was really their age.
Oh, yeah.
Like, kid-wise, they're all, like, super young kids or, adults.
Right.
So they were kind of doing their own thing in the corner because they have their, Kindles and shit.
You should have just tied them to a lead and put them outside.
It would have been tempting.
Yeah. Just be like, here, run free for a while.
But so then we did, we had our beer tasting of the stuff I brought. And Dev provided a nice IPA while we were waiting for Jeannie to finish her one beer. Oh my God, his elbow, my dog in the head.
Yeah, she's fine.
Exactly.
Question is your elbow okay?
Yeah, so far so good.
All right.
But yeah, it was awesome. It's the second time this year that's, we've done something like that, had a holiday of someone else's family, and it's been incredible.
Yeah.
So big shout out to Dev and the clan O'Dev.
The clan O'Dev.
Yeah, for welcoming us into their house.
Yeah, the Devery family. Yeah.
It was entertaining too because Dev's dad apparently works for the prison.
Okay.
And he started telling inappropriate stories.
Oh my, yeah.
And Dev was just sitting there, still like, "Dad, stop! This is gonna be bad. You just stop." It was great.
That's great. Yeah, those are always the stories you want to hear because it's like, oh, he's gonna embarrass this kid by telling this. This is either gonna be incredibly racist or hilarious.
Yeah, it was a little bit of both.
Yeah, well, that'll happen. Yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome.
Right. That's cool.
The college thing was cool because it was weird because it's my oldest kid and we're looking at schools for him now. It's bizarre.
Yeah. Right.
But it's this engineering school, Kettering, and what
Shout
their deal
out.
is you go to school for 3 months and then you work full time for 3 months. And you get paid. It's like an internship that counts towards your schooling, which is nice.
Right.
But I knew he was gonna, like Logan actually, he was kind of questionable, like skeptical about going there until we actually talked to the 2 students who led us around. Mm-hmm. And I think he's pretty enthused about maybe that being a future college of choice.
Okay. Well, if not, just threaten him with
a school
wrench.
full of nerds.
Well, I would think so, given the kind of school it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which he'll fit in fine.
Right. Nerd! Did you show up and start doing that? I mean,
I should have.
Yeah, you should have.
But I mean, I can't. And comic shop in the past.
Listen,
played plenty of games in D&D.
That's in the past.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm like a stealth nerd.
Yeah.
I don't wear it on my shoulder.
Yeah. Next time. Like when you go to drop them off, then do it.
It was cool touring school. It's just, I don't know, it's just weird.
Right. Did you go on any panty raids while you were there? No.
Panty raid. Well, everyone was on spring break, so I didn't get a chance to really see the student body per se.
I see what you're getting at.
Yeah, them hot nerd girls.
Yeah. Listen, anyway, they don't build them like they used to, Tony.
I know, right? But we also, it feels like Flint kind of reminded me, downtown Flint at least, because we didn't go into the, the war zones that are parts of Flint, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But downtown Flint feels like it's kind of bouncing back like Detroit is. Like there was a lot of cool looking little like businesses that were down there, and we ate at this place called, I think it was called the Flint Crepe Company.
Okay.
And that's all I do is just crepes, and they're all like bizarre. I mean, well, the kids got a peanut butter chocolate. That's not bizarre.
It's not really bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah. But Jeannie and I, we got a
like gravel banana or something. That's pretty bizarre.
That would be bizarre.
Yeah. Bathtub gravy.
Bathtub gravy. That's just delicious. But ours was refried beans, sauerkraut, which I know you're not a fan of.
That's weird.
But yeah, refried beans, sauerkraut, cheddar cheese, whipped sour cream, and then a touch of barbecue sauce.
That is really weird.
And we're like, it's so odd. We got to try it. And it was delicious.
That's so crazy. All right. Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? I did the same thing. I'm like, that sounds weird, but I'm like, I kind of want to try it.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Right.
Flint was pretty cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad, you didn't go up there and have a terrible time or something. So.
No. The only real problem was not many breweries around there.
Yeah.
Which is weird for Michigan.
Yeah. Well, it depends though, because like when we've looked at those lists of like where it shows all the breweries and stuff, there's a couple areas where it's like super dense, and then there's areas where it's just nothing. Yeah,
like a dead zone.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a couple, but believe it or not, the one we'd been to before. And it was 10 minutes from our hotel, but
Yeah.
we weren't about to do that because I can't remember what we had for dinner that night. Well, we went to Dev's. Duh.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a very short weekend. It feels like a long weekend, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep, makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. That was cool.
Yeah,
how about you? How was your Easter?
Yeah, it was fine. I decided not to go to my family stuff this year. I just like I've said in think last week, or I said it on the Crazy Life at least, one of the two or both. I've had sinus headaches like almost every day, and they've been bad. So
Right.
I was just like, oh, I'm just not going to do this. And I had an appointment this week and went to the doctor for, to find out about my sinus headaches. And he was like, basically like, and I'm like, oh, great. He's barely listening. He's probably just, here's some medicine, And then I get done describing and he's like, yeah, he goes, he's like, it sounds like you have this, and just this like long title that I think he's still pronouncing.
Right.
And, basically it's that I get headaches from like allergy kind of symptoms, changes in pressure, sense, the stuff that have really triggered my headaches for years. But anyway,
shit, I could have told you that.
I know. Well, that's, I was hoping for a little more, but he, he's like, the way we treat him is with a nasal spray and like Zyrtec, and that I'm already on both. So I'm already he's kind of like, there's not really much I can do for you. So I was like, all right, but he has the same situation. Like he deals with these too. So I was like, well, that's nice to know that, if I keep going to this guy, at least I know that that he's going to keep looking for solutions for his own problem. So if I go in there, I may be likely to find something else down the road. But I read into it a little bit, about like, what's the difference between a sinus headache and a migraine? And I was reading something the other night that basically says that a lot of migraines are misdiagnosed as sinus headaches. And that's,
really?
and that's why a lot of times people use stuff like decongestants, or they'll, take over the counter pain stuff for the headaches. But it doesn't really work because migraines usually just laugh that stuff off. And, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, apparently there's migraines with sinus symptoms. And, like reading about that, and I was like, between what he said and that, I was like, this makes a whole lot more sense, because there's been a lot of times where I've taken stuff for, like sinus issues, and it's just not phased it.
Right.
Or it'll help, like, oh, I can breathe okay, but I still have this brutal headache, and yeah, it said in there too that, some of the common symptoms of migraines are, pain in like the sinus areas, pain inside, either side of the bridge of the nose, which I don't know if I've told you a few times where I'm like, man, I feel like I have this headache where someone's like drilling right next to my nose, Yeah. So yeah, I was looking at that, I was like, I don't know why I never looked that up before, Well,
at least you have some insight on it now too.
Yeah, what stinks is it feels like it, it's like anytime you have any sort of a condition and they're basically like, yeah, well, this is about as good as we can do.
You're fucked.
Yeah, it sucks. But at least, like you said, at least I have a little more understanding of it. And I always try to avoid, like, when I get if I get a magazine in the mail or something, I'm always like holding it way away from my head to see if there's any like cologne ads in it or anything,
Right.
Cause if so, I just tear them right out of the magazine. And I try to stay away from candles and all that kind of stuff because of, same reasons, but you can't though, cause so many people use body washes, lotions, hairspray or hair products. There's so many scented products out there that unless I walk around with like nose plugs,
which is a good look.
Yeah. Right. But hey girls.
Those like swimmer nose clips, they can just hang around your neck like a necklace.
Damn right. They're like, oh, you're a swimmer? Be like, no.
I'm like, yes. They call me the guppy.
I just have sensitive sinuses. That's right,
ladies.
That's right, girl. I'm super sensitive. Well, my sinuses are.
Yeah.
My sinuses
so
are tender lovers.
Don't be wearing perfume.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. That's like one of the things that like half terrifies me about the idea of going on a date with someone, like someone that, wouldn't know that about me, is I show up and they're just all like flowery scented whatevers. And I'm just like, oh my God,
Right. So that's when you go, darling, I'm enjoying dinner, but why do you smell like a whore?
That is normally one of my go-to lines. Yeah. Browbeat him a little bit and
oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's, cause it's got to be a difficult thing to approach because, a lot of ladies like to smell nice. And I mean, listen, I like ladies to smell nice, The problem is that sometimes when they smell nice, I'm wanting to also lay under a desk in the fetal position crying,
Yeah, for sure. Step right into traffic.
Yeah. And I have a headache.
Exactly.
You know what fixes headaches? Just shove them in front of a bus. You're right. My head doesn't hurt.
Trauma.
Yeah. He'd go to the hospital. They're in a coma and be like, see?
It's incredible. His headache is gone.
Like, you shoved him in front of this bus? Look, you wouldn't shut up about the headaches. Oh, I get you.
It's like it was all an experiment.
Yeah. And it worked. Flawless technique.
Science.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yes, science.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like, dude, listen, this is the 95th person I've tried this technique on. 100% success.
95th.
Well, you can't have like 12 people. You have to have a big sample,
It's true.
Otherwise, scientists won't even listen to you,
Right?
Forgot there was something on the news tonight and they talked about some study about Fitbits, about how they get less accurate the more active you are with them.
Really?
Yeah, that's this study. And then they're like, well, and then they were like, blah, blah, the study only had 40 people. And I'm like, that's not a study.
Right.
That's like okay. I mean, that might allow you to write, a grant proposal or something along those lines to maybe get some funding for a study, but that's not an actual study. Sorry.
Right.
That's not big enough.
We need to start a grant program ourselves to dole out grants.
Yes.
Because then we put the fun in funding.
Oh God. Oh Jesus.
I think that would be incredible.
I like this idea actually.
Right?
I'm in. Yeah, if we ever get like uber wealthy, this has certainly got to happen.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like we'd have to have somebody kind of weed through the proposals and find the best ones for us, and then we comb through them and make the decisions. We'll do reality TV shows at that point.
It'd be like Shark Tank, but way less classy.
Right. Yeah. How bad do you want the money?
Exactly. Zip.
Well, okay. I wasn't necessarily going to go that route, but I was, meaning like on The Simpsons one time when Ralph tells Homer he would do anything for Lisa, and Homer goes, "Really?" And then it shows Ralph tarring the roof. Like that's more what I was thinking, Just,
wow,
yeah,
my bad.
Yeah, like having him peel grapes and fan us, and normal stuff.
Well, you stick with that.
Zip.
Zip.
And I'm sitting there going, I'm doing this wrong. Tony's line's longer than mine. I'm like, how does this even work? Like, you'd think everyone would be over here because they wouldn't want to do that, but.
Like, peeling grapes is hard.
Yeah, I was just going to say, have you ever peeled grapes?
It's ridiculous.
Like, just suck him off and move on. So yeah, there was that.
There was that.
Yeah. That's about it. I didn't really do a whole lot else.
It's over there, Logan. Logan, would you like to say hi to everybody?
No.
Hey, put the dog outside. And then in like 10 minutes, bring her back in.
Then put yourself outside.
Yeah, and then put yourself outside.
Perfect. You didn't say come back in, though. Nice.
No, I didn't. See how well he listens to directions.
Nice. You just freed up a bunch of money, Tony.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Time to start that grant program.
Yeah.
Zip.
Terrible. It would be kind of fun to have a grant program like that and just be like, what would you be willing to do for the money? And it doesn't, I'm not meaning in a sexual manner, just to see, like those TV shows where they're like, I'll give you $2 if you do something, if you take a staple gun to the nuts, Right. And people people are like, all right, because I'm on TV. Do you remember that show? We've talked about it before. The one was on MTV where
I remember. I don't remember what it was called, but I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
where
about.
the dude would go down like on spring break and you just walk down the beach and be like, "Hey, I got $5. Will you do this?" And people would be like, "No." I'd be like, "How about 10?" You know, and he would like slowly move up. But if they got too expensive, I think he would just walk on, like, and try to find someone else. You know, like it was just to see how little money you could give someone to do something stupid, which, you know,
Right.
kind of what Girls Gone Wild was too. You know, we'll give you a T-shirt if you agree to show your goodies on TV. All right.
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah, that's how you get
Damn
on there.
girls.
Yep, that's how you get on there.
Yeah. You know, so you'll be like, oh, I got this, you know, amazing research planned out. I just need some of your billionaire dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, so what would you be willing to do for this? Would you kill? Is you're pulling out a little notebook?
Yeah. That would just be part of the process. Like, what's the craziest thing you'd be willing to do for the money?
Right.
Or what are the 3 craziest things you'd be willing to do? And then we get to pick one of them and you have to do it before, and then maybe we'll give you the money.
Maybe.
No, I don't know. I just think it would be fun to do that, even though it would be horrific for the people involved. But, you know, hey, look,
That's true.
in the end, how much do you believe in your research?
Right.
I got cash money. You're just
Cash money millionaire.
flopping a stack of money, you know, and it's not like crisp. It's not like those crisp stacks that they always have on TV shows. They're just like stripper money, you know.
Oh yeah.
Like
it's definitely sweaty.
Yeah, wrapped in a rubber band.
Yeah. Like if you tested it, it's definitely got Coke on it.
Yeah, exactly. Probably not from us though.
No, probably not.
Probably. Yeah.
For sure. Like you put the roll of bills like nestled just next to your left testicle.
Well, of course. Or to the right, depending on how you dress.
Or I don't know how far back this goes, but I'm pretty sure we did this on the show when we came up with the bullet.
Oh God, I forgot about the bullet. Yeah, that'd work. That would be great to where they're like, okay, fine, deal. And you're like, deal. And then you reach down, you know, just juggle around for a couple minutes, get the money out, and then like reach your hand out to shake their hand. If they won't shake your hand, they don't get the money. That's, you know.
Like, oh, I forgot to mention, this money is sweaty dick money.
Yeah.
Like the whole time they're proposing, you're just on an elliptical.
Oh God. In a tracksuit. Or one of those sauna suits. You know, those ones that make you look like a baked potato.
Yeah, you look like Missy Elliott in that one video.
Yes. How bad do you want? Yeah, how bad do you want the money? Oh. All right, there's probably a good reason that we should never have that kind of money.
Or the best reason.
The best reason. I think we get a lot of people to watch our show too.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
We definitely would make a post and hose video.
Well, obviously. Damn it.
Duh. What are we, assholes?
It's called Bullet Billionaires.
Nice.
Yes. That way we get the name brand of Bullet out there, you know.
So if they're willing to be on the show, they already know they're getting ball money.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. That's part of it. Cause it's like, look, we're not being pretentious at all. We're laying it all out there for you. You know, like,
it's true.
Like, you know what you're getting into. Like, just how bad do you want the money?
Yeah,
the best part would be to see the amounts of money that people would be asking for. You know? Cause would somebody come to you for like $10,000 and be willing to go through something horrific? Or would it just be people asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars all the time?
That's an awful lot of money to carry by our balls.
I know. I'm pretty sure that it would just be lower amounts. Like, we wouldn't give away big amounts. We would just always, it'd be like 10 grand and under.
Right.
Or better yet, like they agree to 10 grand. I pull out 5,000, you pull out 5,000.
Yeah, excellent.
Yes. Like, oh, Tony, all I got's 5. Can you're like, oh, I gotcha. Peel
they
it
grab
off.
the money. We high five over their head.
Yeah. Pictures taken, of course.
Of course.
Oh shit. All right.
So credits roll.
Yeah. It's like oh shit. Yeah. Like, it's us high-fiving, then they show the next thing, which is them jumping in the air, pumping their fist. You know?
Yes. I love it.
Good times. Good times.
I like it. I love it.
Oh, God, why would you do that?
I don't know.
Jeez.
Because I'm an asshole, Brian.
Yeah.
An asshole.
Still. Oof. Yeah, so I also went out this week and had a couple of beers with your lovely wife.
Lady space violence herself?
Yep. So, yeah, we went over to the Rockies. And
that's kind of like our hangout spot now for our group of friends.
Yeah.
At least the three of us.
she eagle-eyed some Chill Wave on tap, so
no, nice.
Naturally, that was the first pint. And then the bartender told us about that they had one from Revolution called One's Enough, which is an 11%er.
Lovely.
Which was pretty tasty, but oh boy, one was enough. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm drunk. It was kind of a heavy drink, but it didn't like crush your palate with so
it's no bathtub gravy.
No. Well, I mean, also I had a Chill Wave before. Chill Wave will crush your palate with all those hops.
Yeah, it will karate kick you in the face with hops.
Yeah, but it was, while we were there, we went out onto the patio because this band started playing, and they had the music up way too loud. For that small of a place, you don't need the volume as loud as they had it.
What do you mean?
Yeah. And so we went outside, to finish our pints. And there was an older guy out there that we had a good time talking with that was fresh off of an arthroscopic knee surgery and drinking wild turkey, 100 proof wild turkey out there.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude's hardcore.
I know. And he was a pretty funny guy though. I think he's one of those guys that like half his story's probably full of shit, but whatever.
Yeah.
He was entertaining.
Those people are fun to talk to though.
They're the kind of people you want at the bar. You want to talk to those people at the bar because they're fun. So yeah, we talked with him for a little bit, and the owner was out there for a little bit too, and so that was a good time though. But
right.
Yeah, so had some delicious pints. Then we went up to Nick and Jimmy's up here because it was just too loud there. Like you literally could not talk inside the bar. It was just too loud.
And that's my problem with music and bars.
Yeah.
Is I want to go to a bar to talk.
Well, even if the music's playing, I'd still like to be able to talk a little bit if we wanted to. And there was just no way. I mean, we literally were doing the lean over and talk directly into the person's ear in order to really hear it.
Start texting each other.
Yeah, pretty much. That was the next step. But we went up to Nick and Jimmy's and we both had an Oberon. And, one of the guys in the beer group was talking about how he didn't think this year's Oberon was as good. And I was like, yeah, I think I agree with him. I think last year's Oberon was a better Oberon.
Right.
I was a little disappointed. But they served it with an orange on the glass, too.
Well, I mean, that is the girly foo-foo way to do it.
I guess, yeah.
Still,
no bueno. Everyone listening out there, don't.
I mean, if you're in the Blue Moon, that's your jam.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I want like orange in my drink, I'll order an old fashioned.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyways, that was pretty much, about it for the week here. Until today when the heavens opened up and all the rain came.
Dude. I got riggedy wrecked yesterday.
I don't doubt it. Yeah, we got some rain yesterday too. Yeah.
Well, I was, cause it's been warm this week. And, when it gets warm, it becomes Jeep nudity fever for me.
Yeah, it certainly does.
I'm like, it's time to strip the Jeep down.
Totally nude. Yeah.
So I just had my little bikini top on, keep the sun off my dainty head.
Right. For everyone listening, he's not talking about the Jeep right now. Yeah.
No, exactly. Polka dots and stuff.
Yeah.
But
scandalously tiny.
I'm trying to get home. It's already kind of rained a little off and on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just watching to the west, and I can just see this wall of water coming at me. And I'm just stuck in traffic, and I'm like, I'm going to get soaked.
Yeah.
And dude, when I got home, I looked like Two-Face. Like my whole left side of my body was like I had to literally strip everything off.
Right.
I was soaked it was insane.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
And no regrets because I just, I love my Jeep that way.
It's just water too, it's not like
it's just water, exactly.
And you were going home, luckily too.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be different if it was like, noon and this happened.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, well, at that point, I think you'd probably be going home too because like I gotta get some different draws or something.
Yeah. And then today, because it was pouring, I got soaked going from my house to the garage.
Yeah.
And I threw my doors back on my Jeep, and I'm driving to work, and I'm like, this is weird. Yeah, my seat was still wet, so I had like wet ass for the first hour and a half of work.
Oh, no. Probably rocking khaki shorts too, weren't you?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have I told you, Tony? Always wear darks. Always wear darks.
I know. You think I'd learn.
Yeah, I know. I've told you countless times. Especially when you have that bladder you have,
Also true.
Just picture you're sitting in traffic and people are driving by like, what is going on? Like, you're just going right there.
A race catheter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, race catheter. Right, right.
That'd be perfect. Actually, I could hang my leg right off the side of the Jeep.
That'd be so weird. Can you imagine rolling up on that? You're just seeing some asshole, sitting in a Jeep because you're sitting up higher than a lot of people in that thing. And then you just see the tube run down your leg.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of awful yellow noxious fluid coming out of it.
Right. You've got like,
sir, you're leaking. Yes, I am.
I sure am. You have like sock garters on, not only to keep your socks up, but to keep the race catheter in place,
That's right. It looks real silly because I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah, exactly. You'll end up looking like the dad from Ren and Stimpy. He always had like his boxers on, but he still had the garters on.
You gotta have the stock garters.
Classic look.
Classic. Super classic.
I should bring those back.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. But only in the summer.
Definitely.
Yeah. Be nice with the little anklet socks too, be real sexy,
Anklet socks with the sock garters.
Yeah. What are you trying to, like, those didn't even go up your foot.
Yeah, but it looks sexy.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, really, it makes my ankle bone pop. Look at that shit.
Yeah.
In the 1700s, this would be scandalous.
Yeah, this is the part of the show that's scandalous. Not the horrific things.
I mean that look.
Oh, right, okay. I was like, yeah, our whole podcast would probably get us, hung from a tree or something.
We'd for sure be stoned to death by now.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. On 420.
Oh, Jesus.
Ugh.
Damn it, man.
So,
guess it was
I finally acquired my Fire Stick.
Yeah. Are we talking like you're a caveman here? You finally got a Fire Stick?
Yeah. So I finally got that working for me so I can cook meats now. It's delicious. Nice. Snacks for everybody.
Nice.
No, my Amazon streaming Fire Stick. I finally got it. Because I heard on Daft Pod that apparently, I ordered mine a month and a half out or whatever, and it finally shows up, and Neil orders his, and he got it like 3 days later.
Well, he's a celebrity.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. He's a celebrity. They don't respect you like they do him.
I guess so. Mm-hmm. Apparently it's the case.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, I like the Chromecast. I thought the Chromecast was pretty neat. Fire Stick's way better for one reason. That whole Android software that's on there that people like to monkey around with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you can put this thing on your Fire Stick called Kodi, which is like another platform to put add-ons onto it.
Uh-huh.
And from there, you can put it on this thing called Exodus.
Okay.
And you know how many moons ago you're like, hey, check it out. If you want to watch a show, here's this website that streams TV shows.
Right.
It basically goes and takes and aggregates all those websites into one search program.
Oh my.
So I've been watching Planet Earth 2.
Right.
Because I can,
True.
It's like I have all the content. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, I imagine it is.
Yeah, I just got to figure out how to stream sports on it now because I know there's got to be a way. I just haven't looked into it yet.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful thing, Brian.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know those kind of things are really nice. That's why, I liked, I have the Generation 1 Apple TV, and it's nice how I can pull something up on my phone and just shoot it right to the TV through that or my iPad, whichever. And yeah, it's, instead of watching something on my phone or whatever, I can just be like, I'm going to watch it up on the biggest screen.
And it's nice too, because it has, like, unlike my Chromecast, it has a remote.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Chromecast, you have to use your phone.
Yeah.
So with the remote, I can just put apps on it, and it has Alexa, so I can be like, I want to watch Archer, and it'll pull up just Archer on Netflix,
Oh, wow.
It's pretty nice, especially for $40.
Oh, wow. Yeah, for $40, it's,
I'm a fan.
Right. Yeah, seems all right to me.
I'm a fan. Plus that whole Cody thing. I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you can get that at Amazon.com after you go to SaltyLanguage.com.
That's what I did.
Yeah. That's what
Lead by example.
That's what all the kids should do.
As good kings do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Buy yourself a race catheter. Buy Tony some LaCroix.
Which, definitely LaCroix. Which, if you haven't watched Planet Earth 2 yet, it's fucking incredible.
Yeah, I have not watched the second one.
I mean, the first one's amazing, but somebody, like, like Genie, tune out for this part, because it involves snakes. But there's this.
God, I wish we had the ice cube drop from Anaconda. The snakes out there this big or whatever it is,
I don't remember that drop at all.
Oh, God. I do, because it was on the preview reel at Hollywood Video when I worked there. So every 15 minutes I heard it.
Ugh. Mm-hmm. So sorry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But no, there's this island in the Galapagos where there's these seafaring iguanas. They lay their, like, eggs in the beach, like way over here.
Yeah.
And when the babies are born, they got to get out of sand and then make it to the ocean.
Right.
But dude, as they're scurrying across the sand, it looks like a million Medusas. Like, there's so many snakes that come out of nooks and crannies to catch them. It's insane. And I think Skype just.
I can still hear you.
Excellent work.
Yeah, the quality decreased for sure, but it's still there. Yeah.
That was the gods of podcasting attempting to derail my snake conversation.
Yeah, they don't like snakes either.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
There's a scene where it's like 3 golden eagles are fighting over the corpse of a fox. Some of the footage I got is insane.
Yeah.
So good. Especially if you're into nature stuff. That's so good.
That's the part that's amazing to me is some of the stuff that they have, or even some of the ones where it's like the time-lapse stuff, and it's like, God, how long did they have that camera there? Because it feels like it's like a year's worth of footage, basically.
Well, it's cool at the very end because they'll take like 5 to 10 minutes to talk about how they got some of the shots.
Oh, that's really cool.
Which is neat.
Mm-hmm.
And like the one with the golden eagles, they were sitting in a blind for I think they said just over 100 hours before they finally got something.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, good Lord.
Yeah, yeah. Oof.
Yeah, I don't know. Big fan.
Yeah. He just
on nature.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, I haven't seen the second one. The first one was awesome. It was mind blowing. And I don't love watching nature stuff, but like that's a whole different level of that stuff,
Right.
So I definitely dug those. So I'll have to check that out.
Oh yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Pretty goddamn amazing.
Pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool. That's cool.
I also dealt with some asshole hackers again this week.
Awesome.
I'm sitting there. I think I was actually enjoying Planet Earth at the time.
Yeah.
And I get a text from Verizon. And it's like, hey, we see you've signed up for VSW or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, VZW messaging.
Yeah.
It's, it's like cloud-based messaging through Verizon. And it was like, what is this?
Like, no. Why
and, yeah, exactly. And we're on an account with, my brother and sister-in-law. It's like a family deal.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe they signed up for some. And as I'm reading the thing, it's like, if you haven't signed up for this, log into Verizon.com and, change your password, basically.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's interesting. And I'm thinking just like, well, it must be just, the JISC and the RISC setting up something and
sure.
I don't know about.
Right.
So, and so like a few seconds later, I get a text again on my phone and it says, your Google verification number is this. I was like, huh? And then like 20 seconds later, I get another text. Same thing. Your Google verification number is this. And I'm like, somebody's fishing on my phone. Somebody's trying to get my shit.
Yep.
So I flip open a laptop because, and then I got one that was like, oh, IRS helpline. Your number's this. Click here. And I'm like, I'm not clicking anything.
First of all, the IRS does not really contact people that way.
No, and that's, so that's what I immediately started Googling. That was the first thing on their website. I was like, yeah, we don't text you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So I delete all these texts. Change my Verizon password through my laptop, not on my phone.
Of course, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Change my Google password. And then I'm like, and I settle down after getting frustrated and kumbayaing myself a little bit.
Right.
And I settle down. I'm getting back into my planet Earth. And I get a text message. Bling. Your Google, whatever number is this. They're still fucking trying. So I changed my password again.
Right.
And it finally stopped.
Yeah. Well, I've told you to quit using 1234 and 12345.
But it's the same on my luggage.
Exactly. What kind of idiot uses 1234? Anyway, moving on. What the fuck is that from? I can't remember what that's from. Spaceballs. That's right. I was like, I know the reference. God, I need to start watching some old movies again, man. I'm losing everything.
I'm just
too much head trauma.
Cocksuckers trying to get into my shit, because that was about a month ago that someone hacked my iTunes and bought apps and stuff.
Yeah.
God damn it, man.
By the way, all these new apps that I have on my phone, really fun to use.
Yeah?
No, I'm kidding. I'm acting like I hacked your
I'm
shit.
retarded. Yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And I did try to download that Bowmaster app too.
Yeah.
And it crashes the shit out of my phone.
That's so disappointing.
I got to the Gambit guy, and I was like, this is kind of fun. And I blew the dude up, and then I was trying to play the next game, and it just crashed. And it just wouldn't load.
Yep. That's what it kept doing for me. And again, I deleted it, reinstalled it, and it just kept doing it. And I was like, this is such a shame. What's interesting to me, and I wonder, like, I wish my Mac was still functional at the moment, because I wonder if I could put it on there, because it'd be awesome to have on the desktop, where I have the whole screen, because it kind of gets frustrating having to scroll back and forth sometimes to look at stuff. But anyway, yeah.
I imagine on a newer iPad it would probably be fine.
Yeah, maybe. That's probably what it is.
Oh, speaking of iPads.
Oh, I have a story about an iPad. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Well, mine's quick, because mine's more of like a what the fuck moment.
Okay.
I am driving. So I'm setting the place.
Okay.
Driving. And I'm, because I'm working, that's what I do. And I glance over to my right, and there's a gentleman with an iPad mounted on his dashboard like people have their phone as his GPS.
Well,
and I'm not talking like an iPad mini. Yeah. I'm talking like a legit iPad.
No, do you remember I used to call my iPad my big what was it? My big iPod or something like that, or my iPod big type or big edition. I can't remember, some dumb shit like that. Because that's really what it was.
Edition?
Yeah, exactly. That's really what it was.
I couldn't believe it. Well, one, I didn't know unless you must have had one of those magnet mounts that you can like put on the back of your phone and it clips to the,
Yeah, it's got to have something, because those things, especially like the normal size ones, the newer ones are not as heavy as like the one I have, the first gen one, but they still got to be fairly heavy.
It looked ridiculous. I don't know how that's not distracting.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Seems like it'd be easy to see though.
Oh, for sure.
At least there's that, That's really funny.
It's like, I don't know if he was trying to like pretend he was in a Tesla or something, or
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's probably what it was. Yeah, because those have those giant touchscreens in them.
Which
is weird for an electric car. You wouldn't think they'd, have massive amounts of electricity. But yeah, what are you gonna do?
I've been seeing a lot more Teslas in our area too lately.
I know, which is interesting because you can't buy them here.
I think in Ann Arbor.
Oh, did they? Okay. I was like, for a while, because of the whole Detroit area, because, there's no middleman, there's no, there's certain things that this area really, really likes that they, circumvent. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, anyway. So my iPad story is a few nights ago, my iPad mini, I'm scrolling on Instagram, just scrolling. And then all of a sudden it just jumps all the way to the top. And I'm like, oh man, I must have hit the home thing, And,
Right.
I hate the continuous scroll thing a little bit. Cause like if it refreshes at all, it immediately goes to the top, and it kind of bugs me because it's like, I wish you could stop somewhere and kind of keep your place.
Right.
Like even if they gave it a bookmark thing or something where you could hit a certain thing and it would put you back in that same spot, it'd just be a nice feature for me. Anyway. So, I'm like, whatever. I'm not going to scroll all the way back down. Fuck it. So then I'm using, I forgot what app I was using after that. And it just starts, I was playing the Marvel, Puzzle Quest. And all of a sudden, it just keeps, like, it's basically was reacting as though I kept just hitting random spots on the screen. Menus are popping up and I'd close them and they'd pop right back up over and over and over. And I was like, there's probably something going on with whatever. So, I quit all the apps, relaunch them, and then it starts doing it again. And I'm like, what the hell? So I shut the iPad down and restart it. And it worked okay for a little bit, and then it starts doing this again, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I look it up. And basically, it's one of a few things. Either one, the first thing they tell you is to shut it all the way down, and then to use like a microfiber towel or whatever, clean the surface of it to make sure there's nothing that could be somehow registering as your finger,
Right.
And then you restart it. Usually it says that works. If not, it says, to hook the iPad up, back it up first, but then, restore it to default settings and then
back that ass up.
Yeah, you do. But, restore it to default settings, then restore, from your save. And if that doesn't work, then it says that it's probably like, a sensor going bad in the iPad.
Right.
And it's like, what I've noticed is by cleaning the surface, it seems to work for a while, but then it starts doing it again. So I haven't done the backup, thing, whatever, but it's like, man, I hope the sensor's not going bad on it, cause I don't really have the money to go buy a new iPad at the moment, and I use that thing a lot. Like I read comics on it. I use it a lot because it's just a bigger interface, like if I'm like, I'm going to look up something and I'll grab my iPad if it's handy instead because, it's a bigger, surface to read.
Right.
So yeah, that's fun though. But anyway, if anybody out there didn't know, I just gave you the ways to fix it. So hopefully doing that backup will work.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Which is, quite annoying though, cause like I said, it's not worth fixing. I paid $200 for it when I bought it brand new, cause it was, when they were phasing out whatever generation the iPad mini that was. And, to get it fixed, it's like, it's going to be $80 for an hour's worth of labor plus the part. I'm pretty much buying a new iPad.
Right.
So why not just buy a new iPad, So yeah, that's a good time.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Did I mention ugh?
No, you didn't, but ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah. So also this week, I just want to throw this out there so we can kind of set this up. I finally finished Iron Fist.
Oh. That's Iron Fist noises.
Yeah. So for anybody listening, we're going to do our post-show talk about it. Where after we do all the, the credits and all that kind of stuff, we'll do a little talk about Iron Fist. That way, if somebody hasn't seen it and doesn't want any spoilers, they can just skip it.
Spoilers.
Yep. So there's that.
There's that indeed. Do.
So yeah. I don't know what else we got here. I
started watching
a
documentary called Rock in a Hard Place, and it's like a scared straight boot camp situation that involves The Rock.
I know what it is because I've seen him talk about it on his Instagram.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, this might be interesting. I like The Rock and, whatever. Well, one, I realized I'm not, just reality shit like that just doesn't do it for me.
Mm.
Two, The Rock's, unless he comes back at the end, is there for like 2 seconds.
Right. He does. He has a show that's on CNN, I think, starting really soon, or it's already started, about music, about important times in music that looks really interesting. Anyway, moving on.
Well, that might be all right, because it was basically like they marched the kids in, which the thing that cracked me up is, they march them in, and they just, because it's boot camp, and they shave their heads. Mm-hmm. And as a gentleman who shaves his head, I have never seen worse shave jobs. There's like little tufts of hair on some of the kids.
Oh my God. I mean, like, come on. Like, I don't shave my head, but I don't even have that, Well, it looks
like they just took the clippers and just, did a big rail of coke, and I was like, just like hitting all these heads with the clippers.
Well, maybe that's what they did, Sounds like fun.
But so they're all there, and it's Rock like, hey, I'm The Rock, and you guys fucked up, and don't be bitches, and I was arrested too, and they show him pictures and stuff on his phone, and then he just ghosts.
Yeah.
You just never see him.
Hey, young man, what's your name? It doesn't matter what your name is.
Yeah, exactly.
The kid just shits himself. Because, I mean, he's a huge dude.
Yeah, for sure.
And
except maybe he comes back in the end, because I hate to say it, I didn't stick around.
Yeah, he probably does, is the part of the wrap up or something, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I watched maybe a half hour or more of it, and I was just like, this is just not for me.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I'm just not, because I mean, I care. Part of me cares that, obviously these are troubled kids that need help. Mm-hmm. But I don't need to see them doing push-ups and getting yelled at. And
yeah.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm with you on that. I'm the same way on a lot of that stuff. It just doesn't hook me because of that. It's like, what I want to see is probably the final, 15 minutes of the episode.
Right.
Or whatever. It's like, cause I want to see how far they've come. I want to see did they turn the corner or didn't they? It's like, I really don't care about the rest. It's why reality TV and I don't generally get along. Cause I honestly could, on most of it, just turn on the final 10 minutes and go, oh, they won or they got sent home. Okay. And just move on.
Well, we, started, it's the same idea. Another documentary. We like health documentaries. We watch a lot of those.
Yeah.
There's one that was called, I think it was called Facing the Fat.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. But it's about some dude that he was very overweight, and what he wanted to do to try to fix it is he was going to do a 40-day water fast.
Okay.
To lose weight under, doctor care and all that.
He should have done a beer fast instead.
He should, Steve Wary.
Yeah. Go back and listen to that, enthusiast, if you haven't.
Yeah, exactly. And, good for the guy.
Yeah.
Well, he was so annoying as a human being that we couldn't watch it.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah.
But what we did do is we went to the very end to see what happened, like how he progressed.
Yep. I'm like, good for him or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it was weird. He did fine. I think he, broke some world record for water fasting because he went 40 days and the record was like 55 or something. So he's like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to keep going.
Sure.
Yeah. But I mean,
yeah.
It wasn't engaging at all.
Yeah. Well, it helps or hurts. I mean, that, you didn't find him engaging.
No.
Cause if you find, that it's similar to podcasting, you turn a podcast on and somebody's voice annoys you or something about them annoys you and you're just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like
can't do it.
Can't do it. Yep. So
that's exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm. Understandable. Yeah. I was actually just looking at, Netflix last night, and I'm like, man, I have put a ton of stand-up comedy into Netflix, and it's like, I need to start watching this. So I think now that I have Iron Fist finished, I think that's maybe what I'm going to do for a few nights is just catch up on, or not catch up, but start making a dent in some of that. Although there's a variety of shows on that and Amazon, just Hulu that I want to watch. It's really a time where, there's so much good TV to watch, let alone the other stuff, the documentaries that I want to watch, the stand-ups I want to watch, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Just so much content, so I don't know. I need to be able to actually not sleep. That way I can watch all the stuff I want to watch.
That I don't recommend it, but I mean, you can try it.
Oh, I've done it. It's certainly a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Sometimes by choice. Most of the time not by choice. Most of the time it's, cause my body's like, you know what should happen? You should worry about everything you can't control right now.
Well, I had, well, not so much a worry moment, but I had to have me this week. As I woke up, it was like 1 o'clock. I woke up completely drenched in sweat for some reason.
Sure.
And I could not get back to sleep at all. Like I laid in bed. I got up and I'm like, fuck it. If I'm going to be awake, I just might as well get up. So I got up.
Yeah. Well, that's really what experts recommend anyways. If you lay in bed for, 20 minutes and can't get back to sleep, then you should just get up and do something else.
Oh, I laid in bed for way longer than that before I got up.
I know. I do too, a lot of times. Yeah.
But yeah, so I got up and I got my lunch to go over for work the next day and set up the coffee pot and I watched some TV. And I was like, well, let me try to go back to sleep and just nothing.
Yeah.
And then the alarm goes off and Jeannie's like, so did you get any sleep? I'm like, nope, been up since 1.
Awesome.
I don't know why. And she's like, well, are you going to be fine? I felt fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little tired, but I felt fine. It was weird.
Yeah. Usually what happens with me on stuff like that is if I actually stay up the whole night, and go start pushing into the day, I'm usually good until about 3 o'clock. About 3 o'clock, I really start winding down, and depending on how long it's been since I slept, sometimes it's a very quick descent to where I'll go from whew, boy, I'm starting to feel it to, I can barely stay awake, So, I try not to do that, but there are times when I've done it where I have to have blood work done or something at 10 in the morning, so I was like, screw it, I'll just stay awake. It's otherwise I'm going to sleep for 2 hours. And then I won't.
Right, and that's no bueno.
Well, yeah, and I have a hard time getting back to sleep a lot of times. So whereas if I just push through it, I'm exhausted. So I'll just hit the bed and be done,
Right.
Which then throws me off for days because, I'll be exhausted by 5 o'clock and be like, I'm going to go lay down and I'll just be done until midnight. I'll wake up, be wide awake and I'll be like, oh, great.
Oh, I mean, that next night, I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely, did coffee in the morning. I mean, actually, I went to the gym, got a good workout in that morning.
Wow,
too.
Yeah.
But I did coffee and then I did another coffee later in the day. But then we're sitting on the couch, I'm holding Jeannie's hand. And then she's like, oh, I started talking to you and I looked over and you were just out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the way it is with me. Like I said, it's I'll be just standing in the kitchen or something and I'll look at somebody and be like, I need to go lay down because I can feel my body shutting down. It's how you get to that point where you just cannot keep your eyes open no matter how hard you try, and it's so I go in, lay down and it's almost like I barely hit the bed and it's done,
Yeah.
And what sucks is I might be in bed for 7 hours, but it's not that good restful sleep because the first few of it, it's like having your phone at 0, how it seems like it takes forever for your phone to get to 5%, but then you snap your fingers pretty much and it's at 100. It's almost like, you went too far basically. And, just to charge back to 0 is, an effort. So yeah, it's good fun though.
Indeed.
Except the fun.
Is it?
No. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and I'm resistant to taking medicine for it. I really don't want to.
Well, what about something like melatonin or whatever?
My therapist was
because it's natural.
I actually forgot to talk to my doctor about that while I was in there. My therapist mentioned it that I could, get some of that and try it. So yeah, I may do that at some point. I kind of want to look at it and research it a little bit and probably talk to a pharmacist or something first because I'm on 100 medicines. So
that's true.
Just to make sure there's no conflicting stuff.
Well, I mean, also, Brian, it is 420.
You're right. A heroic amount.
A heroic amount.
Yeah.
I don't think you need a heroic amount to get sleepy.
Probably not. Yeah.
No,
I actually, it's one of the reasons that I never embraced, smoking weed really was that I have enough trouble being motivated as is. And when I smoke weed, all I want to do is just sit around. Like I get so lethargic. So it's just not a good mix for me. I don't know, maybe edibles or something would work better. Cause I know a lot of people that seem to, edibles, they don't have a problem with as far as how it affects them. But if they smoke, it seems to affect them different. So.
Right.
I'm also not really going around messing around with, like, oh, let's see what different, what has what effect on me. So, but you're right.
Let's see what Purple Wave Kush Kush does to me or whatever.
All right. So speaking of Purple Wave Kush Kush.
What? Segue.
Today was the Starbucks Unicorn Frappuccino Day or whatever.
Oh God, I know I wanted to talk about that and I completely forgot to put it on my thing.
Jesus. Okay. Why can't people understand that when something like this comes out, everybody doesn't need to post a picture of it? Like I avoided Instagram all day because every time I opened it up, it was somebody posting a picture of their stupid coffee. And it's like, I take pictures of my beers to check into that Untapped app. I don't post every beer I take a picture of, Like occasionally I'll do it, but usually it's got my face in it too because I'm, knocking the pint back or something.
Well, as you should be.
But it's like, like so many pictures of it. And it's the same picture because every one of them looks almost the same. So it's pretty much the same picture hundreds of times.
Yeah.
And it's not just on there. It's on Instagram too and Snapchat. And it's like, come on. Like, why can't we as a race realize that everybody's going to be posting the same picture? Maybe we should all just not bother with it.
I don't know what sort of concoction that was either.
Oh, I'm sure it's horrible, whatever it is. Yeah.
Because there's a guy I follow.
I just mean for you.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
That got one. He's like, it's awful. It tastes like they melted all the gummy bears together.
That's about what I heard. I saw quite a few people really like it, but yeah.
Those people also maybe have diabetes.
There's somebody, actually, damn it, if I would have thought about it, I actually know someone who's who works at a Starbucks, so I might have been able to, not get company secrets, but at least, give me the quick breakdown on it.
It looks awful. It seems awful. Yeah. I did enjoy the Snapchat filter though.
Okay, there's that. Like, I'm fine with that. And it's, but it's like, if you're gonna do the picture of the coffee, put your face in the thing or, do something with it. Don't just, here's the coffee. Otherwise
take a picture of you in the corner just power fucking it.
Yeah. Cause otherwise it's just a product shot. And
exactly.
Starbucks probably had that on their Instagram feed. I'm
sure.
So, all right. So here we go. I pulled up on BuzzFeed. It says, according to Starbucks, it starts off as sweet and fruity, transforming to pleasantly sour. You can swirl it to reveal a color-changing spectacle of purple and pink.
Pink is my favorite color.
And that pink and blue dust on the whipped cream, Starbucks says those are fairy powders, which is weird.
Is it?
Well, that's what it says, so of course it is.
Probably unicorn scrote.
Okay, so for starters, the standard unicorn frappuccino is made with whole milk and whipped cream. A grande has 410 calories. Should have been 420 if they would have done it right.
Assholes.
Though, of course, this info changes if you get a lower fat or non-dairy milk or skip the whipped cream. Aside from the milk and ice, the unicorn frappuccino is what this says. It's supposed to say frappuccino.
That's probably done on purpose.
Like the paragraph before it says frappuccino, the paragraph below says fappuccino.
The old fappuccino.
Oopsies. Anyway, it says made with a bunch of flavored syrups and sauces. Starbucks creme frappuccino syrup, vanilla syrup, mango syrup, classic syrup, and white chocolate mocha sauce. And the fairy powders are actually a mixture of sugar and food colorings made from fruits and vegetables.
Weird.
And obviously, oh my God. Whew. Okay, a grande has 59 grams of sugar, or 15 teaspoons of sugar.
Oh my God.
What a bomb. Okay, so here's the things. I love how they broke it down. It's like, to put that into context, that's one 12-ounce can of Coke has 39 grams of sugar. So it's like a can and a half of Coke, sugar-wise. Or almost. One Hershey's milk chocolate bar is 24 grams, so it's, 2 or so of that. One Twinkie is 16 and a half. One serving of Ben & Jerry's Brownie Batter Core ice cream has 27 grams. And one serving of Frosted Flakes has 10 grams of sugar. That's about 1.5 times the maximum amount of added sugar that's recommended for your body per day.
That's making me feel gross.
Jesus. Okay, so it says even if you ordered a tall, it has 39 grams of sugar, which is still more added sugar in a single drink than someone's supposed to have in a day.
Ugh.
That's some,
I looked at the thing and I'm like, that looks like a sugar nightmare, but.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that too. Okay, so here we go. This is, Grande. So, okay. 410 calories, 16 grams of fat, which is 25% of your daily recommended fat. 10 grams of that is saturated fat, which is the no bueno fat. Well, trans fat is too, but anyway. But that's 50% of your daily recommended saturated fat. 45 milligrams of cholesterol, which is 15% of your daily whatever. 230 milligrams of sodium, which is 10%. 62 grams of carbs, which that's almost all from sugar, 21% of your daily value. And it has 5 grams of protein though. I mean.
Sick.
Yeah. So,
get them gains, son.
Yeah, right? Whew. Well, you'll get gains, all right.
It's true.
Jeez. So yeah, so that was fun. So yeah, I mean, I know most people are not going to look at that if they're going to have this. It's like me. It's like if I'm going to have a brownie, I'm not looking at the nutritional facts on the brownie. I'm just going to enjoy the brownie and move on. But anyway. Speaking of moving on.
So I have a couple of quotes from the Starbucks Reddit.
Okay.
Of baristas ranting about this.
Okay.
Says, in Houston, we had another store call us if we had extra pink powder since they were running low. And apparently had 42 unicorn frap order.
Oh my gosh.
I do not know what size they were, but 42.
It's probably one for everybody in a workplace is probably
exactly
what it was. Yeah.
There's another one. We made 417 unicorn frappuccinos today.
Wow.
For fuck's sake, I've been working a never-ending line since 12, and it's already 5:30, and there's only fucking 2 of us. By the time I left, we'd sold 400 for the day. The prep wasn't done. The floors weren't done. They hadn't even started on pre-closing tasks. I can't even say the name of the fucking drink without feeling embarrassed.
Wow.
We just had a college class of 20 people coming to the cafe and each order one. Most of them with modifications, so we couldn't even use the same blender.
Oh, jeez.
Plus, every single car in the drive-thru was ordering at least 2. All of this with a whole 4 people working.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. I feel bad for these poor baristas.
Me too, yeah. I'm
God damn.
For my own sake, I'm going to ask my friend that's a barista at a Starbucks how her day was. I'm sure she'll probably be like, I wanted to murder everyone. But anyway, yeah. So, all right. Well, we should probably move forward here because we're kind of getting long in the tooth show-wise.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, let's I got to shut up and take my money for this week.
Oh, of course, soundboard shut off.
So let's do that real quick, yeah.
Because I'm in the right place. I'm in the wrong town.
Oh, my God.
Shut up and take my money. Shut up and take my money.
One more.
Fair enough. All right, I just sent you the link to it so you could have a look-see at it, too. I saw this last night. Somebody in one of the rooms I'm in posted it. And it's a Death Star popcorn maker. And the thing, when it's all together, looks like the Death Star on a stand. But it's just, it's an air popcorn machine. And apparently there's an R2-D2 one, too. And I just thought they were really, I don't like the R2-D2 one as much. But anyway, it's different.
If I'm going to have popped corn, it's going to be pure evil popcorn.
That's right. I want the dark side. Well, not
I'm just
burnt,
saying.
but yeah. That's no moon.
That's no moon.
Anyway,
it's just delicious popped treats.
Yeah, I mean it's a little pricey. It's $50. An air popper is usually what, 20 or less, somewhere in that range. I mean they're usually.
No idea.
I've got one, but I've had it for so long I don't remember what I paid for it. Anyway, but I just thought it was a really cool, kind of thing, especially if you're a Star Wars geek. The link that we'll have on there is for Think Geek actually, and it has a link in there also for the R2-D2 one if you want to have a look at that. I don't know if
it's pretty cool though.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Both of them are $50. So, yeah. So that's the shut up and take my money for the week.
Oh, let's just
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah,
bam.
You dig?
Dig, sucker.
All right. So let's see. What do we do after that? Oh yeah, it's time for the Q of the W.
Oh shit, son.
Unless you have something else to.
Not at all.
All right, let's move.
Not at all.
All right, cool.
Last week's Q of the Dubs, Brian, was about the Easter Bunny and what would the worst kind of Easter animal be?
Mm-hmm.
So I got a couple of Facebooks. Ray, he says the blobfish, which he included a picture, and it's pretty terrifying.
All right.
It just says the blobfish, the most depressing fish in the sea, and it basically looks like a pile of mashed potatoes. It's frowning.
That would be pretty awful. I mean, can you imagine taking your kids to get pictures with the blobfish?
Yeah. Oh my God. It's got like a festive pastel vest on.
Oh, well. Well, of course. It's Easter.
So why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So we got that. And then we got, our pale big dev. He says the naked mole rat, and then just look it up.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
I also know what he's talking about.
Oh, that would be great, actually. Again, picture your kid going to sit on the naked mole rat's lap.
Creepy.
Terrifying. Love it.
That's all I got on the face page, Brian.
All right. I got a couple over on the Twitters. We got one from Matthew McDonough, and he said the Easter sloth, which would be interesting considering you wanted to be a sloth earlier. I mean, you might have a side gig there.
Right.
Setting you up for some work. Michael Leal, or Leal, however you want to say it. I don't know, whatever.
Michael guy.
Yeah, instigator of Moon Wars, and not really. Tony was the instigator of Moon Wars.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's no question.
That was my alter ego.
Head of the Danger Entertainment Network said tapeworm, which, yeah, the Easter tapeworm would be quite odd.
It would be fucking terrifying because it comes out of your stomach and then delivers candy everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not something I would want to have any part of.
No.
All right. So then I got, from Fluffy Bunny Ash. She said, she thinks the worst Easter animal is the Easter raccoon. It leaves river water soaked uncooked kielbasa and breaks something on the way out by karate kicking for Jesus.
Wow, that's an excellent Easter animal. I don't know what she's talking about.
Right. I figured you'd enjoy that. Yeah.
Leaves you a basket full of bathtub gravy.
Oh God. Now, are we talking? Yeah, you're not talking like poured jars into the bathtub. You're talking fresh made, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
It's Easter magic.
Right. Easter magic. I just can't wait till you get to the part that you can start selling bath bombs instead.
Right. They're actual bombs.
Yeah, because apparently there's, a ridiculous market for that stuff. So, at least for that Lush company or whatever it is.
Right.
Man.
Ugh.
Yep. So, I believe that's all I got.
Wow. So a low response. I guess people aren't digging it.
Yeah. I forgot.
That's okay, though.
I meant to post that in some groups and I forgot. Plus, with us recording a day early, it threw me off a bit.
Right.
So, whatever. So, what we got for this week?
Well, real quick, because right before we started recording, I threw up on Facebook like, hey, is there anything you want us to talk about today?
Okay.
And our beer friend, Philip, he says he wanted us to talk about jerk chicken. It's delicious.
I can honestly say I've never had jerk chicken.
Really?
Never. No. So, I can't, I've seen
That's
jerks make chicken for me, but.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, I've had chicken at your plate. No. I mean, hey.
Never had jerk chicken. You're getting booed by the most violent of space ladies.
I noticed. It happens. I haven't really been anywhere to have it. So,
well, there's a place right by my work that's located in a gas station called Jamaican Spice, and I grabbed a menu from there today because I had to go and get a receipt for gasoline.
Right.
And they have jerk chicken, so this might be a thing.
Nice. So I can be like Jamaican meat chicken. I get it.
Hey.
Oh God. Anyway.
And I'll be up in a wee bit. So this little QW we got this time, Brian, is actually inspired.
Okay.
Not by 420 like you would have thought, but it's inspired by our podcasting friends, Neo and Annalise from Dark Angels Pretty Freaks. Because on their last show, they're talking about whiskey plans.
Okay.
Which is basically a plan you make once you have some whiskey in you. So it's some harebrained scheme.
Oh, okay. I get you. All right. So, which is interestingly enough related to 420 because there's a lot of plans made once you have a little smoke.
This is true.
Yeah.
So I guess this could be just, yeah.
How about this? Let's change it from
heroic dose plans.
Yeah, I was going to say let's switch it from whiskey plans to whatever you want to call it, whether it's drunk or high, whatever it is. Like we'll put it into that context.
Right. Different state of mind plans.
Yeah. Altered mind. Yeah.
Yes. Altered state plans.
Altered beast. Right.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Now it's funny because their plans they had are eerily similar to Jeannie and I.
Okay.
Where they're like, we want to, move out in the middle of nowhere, downsize our house, travel more because we have less expenses.
This all sounds horrible. Yeah.
So I can't really call that a whiskey plan.
Yeah.
Because that's what we legit talk about too. Is like, kids move out, build a tiny house, rent the big house, work less, travel more.
Right.
Right. Seems pretty great.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to say what one of my plans are, and once again, there was no intoxicants involved. Is like the last one I could think of, at least, because I do this all the time. Is I legit sat down for one afternoon, like, I'm going to get into blacksmithing. And I was Googling and pricing like anvils and seeing how to make forges.
Oh my God.
And obviously I haven't done that, but I did spend an afternoon like, that would be cool. I could take like an old screwdriver and make a knife out of it. That'd be neat.
Meanwhile, people in prisons have been doing that for years, but
basically.
Yeah. Wow, that's a hell of a bar to set, Tony.
I know.
Oh man. Yeah, cause that's kind of what I was thinking was that it's the stuff that like when you're drinking, it's like, oh man, we should do this. That'd be perfect. But we talk about that stuff like all the time.
Right.
Like we've had the Wizard Tower conversation. We've talked about a brewery. We've, like those kind of things. Cause, the brewery thing would be interesting. I think brewery is probably mine because there's been a few times where I've kind of started doing a little research.
Right.
And I think that kind of has something to do with it a little bit, is like you were saying how you spent the day looking at blacksmithing and whatnot, that, it's kind of like while I was drunk, I was looking up, different, things. So yeah, I think that's going to be mine, even though it's not as ridiculous as yours. Yours is way, way better. And I'm sure there's better examples. I just can't think of, times when you and I have been drunk and we're like, what we should do?
Well, because half the time when we get to that point and we're just like talking shit, that's what we're doing, is we're talking shit.
Yeah.
We're making fun of people, or, we're talking about what would happen if like Bigfoot skydived into the courtyard all of a sudden.
Right.
It's just, it gets nonsensical.
Right. Yeah. Cause if I wanted to be really, grand sweeping here, then I guess like Hobo Gulch would be great. No, it would really, it would probably be more along the lines of, kind of like you and I sitting down and actually trying to like put stories together, like write some of the stuff we've talked about and actually do some of that we've joked about, like you said, take the talking shit and move to the, fleshing out the shit stage.
Oh, God. That needs to be something. We don't talk shit. We flesh it out.
We flesh it out. Yeah.
Or flush it now. Flush it out now. That's no good. I like flush it out. It's way grosser.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Way creepier.
Right. Flushing it out sounds like something that's just a medical procedure. Fleshing it out sounds like something Buffalo Bill did.
We don't talk shit. We flesh it out.
Yeah.
Wow. That sounds like the first thing Pinhead would say to you when you open up the puzzle box.
Yeah. I hear you talk a bunch of shit. Yeah. So yeah, mine would be somewhere in that range. One of those two kind of things.
That's fair.
Where it's like said half joking, but there's also that element of, like,
yeah, well, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So that's the Q the W for the week then.
Oh, shit.
Show me what you got.
Sorry, I'm distracted because as soon as you had said that, I had this big bubble go across my Skype screen and said, the internet connectivity has dropped. I'm like, shit.
Sweet. All right.
Super distracted.
That's well done, sir. Well done.
Happy 420.
Yeah. Right. You're just high on life, Tony. High on life.
Right.
Right. So
more than a feeling. I'm high on believing.
Oh my God.
That I'm in love with you. Yes, you, Brian. After all these years, it's coming out.
All right. You've had enough of that mindfulness app.
It's right out.
Yeah, it's right out. Go back to bottling this shit up.
Exactly. Go back to keep it inside. That's hilarious.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, again, happy 420 to everybody. And, go to saltylanguage.com, click all the links, watch or listen to all the enthusiasts. Go to the Patreon as we talked about before if you can, or use the Amazon link if you'd like to help us out that way. Tony's got a blog up there. I don't know if you posted another one because I haven't looked, but
I haven't posted one this week.
Awesome.
Just haven't really had a chance.
Right. Fair enough. Probably just be about his feelings for me now.
Yeah.
Or it'll be his whiskey plans, about all his plans for when he's a blacksmith. That'd be pretty entertaining. I'd read that.
I had so many plans.
Or about how he loves unicorn frappuccinos.
If I remember right, I think I even started a Pinterest page, like a board to pin metalworking shit.
Right.
Yeah.
It happens.
That's how I get. I get all in for 2 seconds and then I'm out.
That's fair. Again, if you want to send us anything for our 300th episode, saltylanguage@gmail.com, or, you can send it to us through social media sites, or you can hit up the Salty line at what again, Tony?
415-857-2589. It is the sexiest?
Yeah.
Sexiest of lines available.
Depends on what they send us. It might be the sexiest.
Oh, nice. It's a new term. Sexty.
Yes. Oh, God. So, yeah, I guess, if you want to hit us up on Twitter, it's at salty_language. I'm at Stunami.
I'm at Monotony, although you won't find me too much there anymore. But you can find me at salty_language on the old Snapchat if that's your jam.
Yeah, Tony will send you unicorn pictures.
Yeah, it will.
And sometimes the ones with the filter.
Right.
It was Ninjitsu on there.
And of course, we're on YouTube, Salty Language Pod. Mm-hmm. We're on the Facebook, Salty Language.
Instagram.
We're on the Instagram as Salty Language. We're everywhere.
Tony's on Pinterest at, damn it, Wishful Blacksmith. I couldn't think of what I was going to say.
Wishful Blacksmith.
Yeah.
Blacksmithdreams.com is our website.
Blacksmith Whimsy.
Exactly.
Oh, shit. And then while you're on the site, you can also check out the networks that we're part of. The Tangent Bound
Leather
Network.
Apron Daddy.
Yeah. Leather Apron Daddy. Yes. Oh, my. Speaking of Leather Apron Daddies. No, anyway. TangentBoundNetwork.com. Geek Life Radio, we're part of the podcast playlist.
Are you saying Mark from Tangent Bound is a Leather Apron Daddy?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
I might have. And what's the other network we're part of,
Oh,
Tony?
shit, son.
Danger! Watch your back! Danger!
Entertainment. And, I think with that, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Stay smoky, brah.
Wow. Wow. And make sure you order your Bathtime gravy? I got nothing this week.
All the Bathtime gravy.
We'll see you next time for the 300th episode. Or stick around after this part because we're going to talk. Nice. Or stick around because we're going to be talking Iron Fist. So.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into this, once again, we'll point out to everybody, spoilers. If you haven't watched Iron Fist and care about, don't want anything spoiled for you, probably don't listen to this part.
Right. Exactly.
If you don't care, then welcome. We're going to talk a little bit of Iron Fist. So, the first thing that's amazing to me, and this is really all you need to know about how much I loved or didn't like the show, was that I just finished it. All of the other ones I pretty much finished the weekend they came out.
Plowed through them, if you will.
I did, and I only went through 4 episodes of this, and then I stopped for a long time. But yeah, the real quick, overview of it for me was that I thought it was good, but the problem is where it was released. If it had been the first one that was released, I think people would have received it a lot better than where now we've had all these, Daredevil, 2 seasons of Daredevil, and we've had Luke Cage and, all these others that have been really good. And I don't think it holds up to those.
Yeah, it's probably my least favorite of the Netflix Marvel series.
It's easily my least favorite, yeah. Which is
and
sad.
I'm not saying I didn't like it.
Right, exactly.
But I mean, I think the reason it didn't live up to what I wanted it to, personally, is because Luke Cage was such a nod to blaxploitation movies.
Yeah.
That I was really hoping Iron Fist is going to be a nod to classic kung fu type stuff.
I was too. Yep.
And it really, it kind of was.
Yeah.
But not as much as I was hoping it would be.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff. We talked a few weeks ago about how Finn Jones said that, basically the fight scenes he practiced for 15 minutes before they recorded them. And that showed,
Yes.
The fight scenes.
Some of the fight scenes were not that choreographed that great.
Yeah. And they just weren't great fight scenes. I mean, there were a couple things they did that I thought were really cool. Idea wise, the elevator fight I thought was pretty cool early on. And, there's a couple of the fight scenes that I thought were pretty neat. But it was just this guy's been training for 15 years to be the ultimate, weapon for Kunlun. And
some would call him a living weapon.
Yeah. He just didn't seem very
weapony.
Yeah. He didn't seem like he was any sort of an expert in what he was doing, I don't know. I have some kind of conflicting stuff. I talked with Jeannie about this the other night too, about how really a big part of his training through this whole thing would be to center his chi, for his skills and such. And yet as soon as there was anything thrown at him, all of a sudden he's just like, oh, I can't do it, and I kind of felt like I was watching Flash.
Right.
To where Barry Allen's just like, oh, I can't do anything until someone's like, you can do it. And then he's like, oh yeah, I can do it. And, so I had a little of that feeling that bugged me a little bit because I kind of felt like he should have been very confident in his, skills. But
chi type shit.
Yeah.
His chi fangs.
Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But yeah.
No, I hear you. And I get that too. Cause like you said, 15 years of living with monks. Mm-hmm. He should have probably had his anger under control.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's not using a mindful app.
I didn't see him pull it up once during the show.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's a few things that there's some things that are kind of disconnected for me a little bit. But the major problem I had with the show really was that they didn't show almost anything from Kunlun. Of him going through the trials, the fact that the way he gets his power is he rips the heart out of a living dragon.
Right.
And then he basically, then because of that, it turns his hand into the Iron Fist. That's how it's dude, this dude beat a dragon,
right.
why would you not show that? That would be so awesome to see. And they skipped that whole part. And I don't know, maybe season 2 will show it, or in Defenders or something, they'll flash to it. But I just felt like that was a big letdown to me that they didn't give, like they gave us here's how I got my powers for all the other characters in the other shows. Like you get the origin story. With this, they just kind of quickly tell us and then they just kind of move on.
Right.
And that would have been, like, to me, that should have been somewhere in the series. That should have been a few episodes. Like, even if they had done it kind of like Arrow, where they flash back to, you know, his training and learning this stuff, or going through the trials, you know, whatever. I don't know.
So you're saying instead of flashing back to his parents dying in the plane wreck, and I think the one scene where just monks are basically beating him up with sticks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. But it's weird because it's one of those shows where I feel like when I talk about it, I feel like I'm just constantly complaining. But while I was watching it, I was enjoying the show. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't like I wasn't watching it going, this is so stupid. And like, you know, I never found it really boring, or anything like that. But like I said, you know, there's just a few parts that are, you know, kind of bugged me, but you know, and they tweak a lot of the origin story stuff, from the book, but not in enough of a way that it truly, like, it's not going to make me like flip a table or something, you know?
Well, I think, like you were saying, release time, like coming on the heels of Luke Cage is probably not a great idea.
Very true. I felt that's something I was saying too, is I almost kind of feel like maybe they should have put a season 2 of something out before, or after Luke Cage, because that show dropped like a hot mixtape, you know?
Right.
I mean, literally it was a hot mixtape of not just a show, but the literal mixtape of the thing, you know? Oh
yeah, for sure. I listen to that Spotify playlist all the time.
Me too. It was so well received and liked that I think it was going to be tough to fill.
Well, and even those, too, because it was like Luke Cage had so much action in it that I almost feel like if it would have been like Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, because Jessica Jones had some action, but it was more like a thriller noir feel.
Yeah, exactly. And
so if it was like Luke Cage was like action and they're like kung fu action, it just didn't live up to.
Yeah. Because I'll be honest, like I didn't, and I know it's in the book too, but it's like I don't care about the whole him being part of Rand Enterprises. You know what I mean? Like, I don't at all care about that. You know, because for me, I already know his origin, so I would have been totally fine if they would have just dropped him in down the road and he's just like, I'm a badass and just kicks everyone's ass. But I know a lot of people didn't, so they have to set some of that up. Plus, they have to juxtapose how he's ultra good versus, you know, the Meachums are, you know, nerdy people, so.
Nerdy.
Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, and, you know, the way that the show ended was weird. Like, I kind of felt like they were just like, okay, so basically nobody dies, or they're, air quotes, dead. But again, as we've talked on our show before, if you don't see the body, they ain't dead.
They ain't dead at all.
And even if you do, they're probably still not dead.
Yeah, they're probably just stuck in the upside down.
Right. Nice. But like Bakudo, you know, his body disappears, and the hand, we've already seen the hand bring people back from life because Meachum, but we also, I think, didn't they do it in Daredevil too?
Yeah, because I think there's like some assassin guy that Daredevil royally fucked up and left for dead, and then he came back, if I remember right.
So I figure it's the same process, and, you know, so it's like, well, I fully look for Bakudo to come back, you know, and be crazier in season 2, which is cool. I don't mind that.
Right.
Meachum, on the other hand, I kind of feel like was a character that I kind of feel like Meachum should be a one and done.
But Brian, he comes back from the dead.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, and he punches hard.
Right.
Apparently.
Because I kind of feel like he should die, and then in the second season, Joy should be the evil Meachum.
Right. That'd be interesting.
Well, because, I mean, you know, again, spoilers for anyone who hasn't read the books, she actually does hold Danny Rand accountable in the book for the death of her, or the shit that her dad goes through in the book. And she teams up with Davos in the book. So, and they allude to that at the very end, you know. So it's like, you know, Daddy Meachum doesn't really need to exist anymore. They could just flush him down the toilet and You know, not that he was a bad character. He was a fine character. I just don't think, like, I think they could have shown someone beheading him, you know?
Right.
Although I guess maybe down the road having him be, you know, cause each time you resurrect, you lose a little of yourself. You know,
right, which is a cool concept.
Yeah, so maybe they, you know, he comes back again and he's just an absolute monster. Maybe that'd be all right, you know.
Like I was like, I might steal that for the D&D campaign and run it for my family.
Yeah, it's a pretty good idea, actually.
I know, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, you know, I'm trying to think if there was anything else. There's other stuff in the show that kind of bugged me. You know, Jeannie and I talked about the whole mental institution thing with Ward.
Oh yeah.
You know, that bugged the shit out of both of us because that's not how that isn't. He wouldn't have ended up there. That's not how that works. You know,
right?
Plus, it's a tired trope. They use it in so many shows. Where they just stick somebody in the mental institution, and you know, like didn't they do that in Luke Cage too?
I thought he was just in prison in jail.
Oh, that's right. It was prison. Fuck, what show was it? There was some show I watched not too long ago, and it did the same thing, and that was my mate. I had a real issue with, because I was like, do they really need to put him in the, you know, so.
I'm trying to remember, was it Jessica Jones? Because he was like, Jessica! She was all like, oh, I'm crazy and dumb.
You know, I think it might have been. It might have been. Because I remember talking to you about it and saying that it was that I was like, this is stupid. Why did they do this? And it's a lazy writing trope that it shows up too much. But anyway, like I said, I don't mean to just shit on the show, because like I said, I did enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it as much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Out of the Marvel shows that have come out, it's the one that I'm like, I probably want to rewatch it.
Do you know one of the other things that this show didn't give us that, well, Jessica Jones doesn't either, but the others all give you that look at them in the costume.
Right.
He's never in the costume. And
I was really hoping to see, like, at some point.
Yeah.
At least something somewhat similar.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, give me that deep V so I can see that tattoo.
Well, do you know what I thought they might do is put him in like a tracksuit. Like he's just doing his warm-ups and he just happens to have the tracksuit like unzipped pretty low so you can still see the tattoo.
That would make sense.
You know, that way it's kind of a throw to it without, and it would make more sense because, you know, he's just wearing warm-ups, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, Luke Cage, I loved how they did it where he's just snatching stuff off the line and it just mismatched and it just happened to, you know, be his old costume.
Right.
You know, I thought that was cool. This one didn't give us to that. And I kind of figured maybe they'll do it in season 2 where clearly he's got to learn more about being the Iron Fist.
Yeah, for sure.
Because apparently all they did was show him how his fist can glow and nothing else before he left. Because somehow Bakudo knows all the things and he knows nothing, which...
None of the things. Well, Bakudo is actually the curator of the Iron Fist Wiki. So...
I mean, there is that. Like, you know, he knows what he's looking for in the Iron Fist and he was studying for all that. But it's just, like, he knows how to reset the chi. He knows how to, like, do everything for the Iron Fist. Clearly, when he stabbed him in his side, there was something... I was waiting for that to be some sort of an enchanted weapon or... You know, like something like that.
Not just a sword.
Not just, oh, I stabbed you in the side, now you can't summon the Iron Fist? Or even then, did you see, like, when he did summon it at one point, and then Bakudo seemed to, like, snap his fingers or something, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, does he have a way of controlling it? And then they never touch on it. And I was like, all right.
I guess not.
Because that actually was going to be a big gripe, was that I hate how easily dealt with the characters seem to be also. Like Luke Cage. They were like, oh, we have these bullets that'll kill Luke Cage. You know, just happenstance, you know.
Yeah, this is true.
You know, like, oh, all right. So yeah. But anyway, you know, that stuff's gonna be there. You know, that shit exists in the comic books. So, you know, I can overlook a lot of that kind of stuff. But the costume kind of bugged me because I was with you. I was like, I really wanted just one glimpse somewhere of him in something. Like, he didn't even have to have the mask on if he just had, you know, like I said, like a green and yellow tracksuit or something.
I like the idea of the tracksuit. Like, he's in there, like you said, doing some warm-ups or something.
Yeah.
And what's her name comes in and be like, you look ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like a traditional, like goes back for a long time in the tradition of the Iron Fist. That's what the costume is for. You know, it's part of the whole thing. So that's why I was like, well, maybe in season 2 we'll see it a little bit or something, you know. Or in Defenders. Maybe they're waiting until Defenders to show it off or something. But it's like they don't have to because Luke Cage is just going to be wearing a hoodie, basically. Right. Jessica Jones is just wearing street clothes. Daredevil's the only one that's going to be in costume. Yeah.
This is true. He's going to be the odd man out.
Yeah, right. I mean, unless he just wears a suit, which would be kind of weird.
That would be weird.
He just got a suit, and on the pocket, it has the Daredevil logo.
Yeah, exactly. He's got some sort of classy horn top hat on or something.
Sure. Yeah, sunglasses and a horn top hat.
Yeah.
Horn top hat's kind of a cool idea. I like that.
Right?
Be a good
Satan's top hat.
Yeah, I was just going to say it'd be good for a Satan type character where they don't actually have horns. It's just on the hat,
Also, the name of my steampunk band, Satan's Top Hat.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, right?
Very much like to see that.
I'll start blacksmithing immediately.
Of course you will. Shit. All right, so yeah, I'm sure I have more to say on it, but I can't think of it. If anyone wants to have a conversation with me about it, feel free.
Well, out of our traditional rating scale of Channing Tatums, 1 to 5, or 0 to 5 even, how many Channing Tatums do you give Iron Fist?
I think I rated it on Netflix a 3, but I would probably go 3, 3.5 probably, somewhere in that range for me.
Yeah, I was thinking 3 myself.
Yeah, because I had a lot of problems with the show, but it was still all right.
Yeah.
I will say this. I think the lowest I had given one of the shows before was probably, I don't even know. It had to have been over 4. Because even Jessica Jones, which I didn't love, but I thought was good, was still up there. So.
Right.
Yeah. Even with that.
Yeah.
One other thing I had, which I mentioned to Jeannie the other night, which was, the night nurse is in every one of these series, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, and for those who don't know, it's Rosario Dawson's character. I can't think of her character name in the show, but she's a character in the Marvel Universe called Night Nurse. And anyway, it's just like, she knew he's going to be taking on the Hand and wasn't like, yo, let me holler at Daredevil right quick. See if he can help a brother out. Or I'm going to call, like Luke, she couldn't because, at the end of season 1 of Luke Cage, he's, heading off. So clearly he's busy or whatever,
Right.
But it was just like, really, why didn't you holler at Daredevil to help out a little bit,
For sure. What's the Punisher up to right now?
Yeah, right? I mean, it was just kind of interesting to me that you remember I made a comment that I thought it'd be kind of cool at the end of Iron Fist if they kind of had a little crossover that set up Defenders.
I was hoping for that too.
Not so much. Unless the events of what happened at the end of this with what happened on Kunlun are, lead to the Defenders, which I don't think is going to be the case.
I mean, the closest they had was him wearing Luke Cage's sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Which should have been way bigger on him.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Because he is not a big dude, and Luke Cage is a pretty good-sized guy.
Yeah, it should have looked like, he was playing dress-up with daddy's clothes.
I was just going to say it should have looked like, to make another callback to last week's show, like Mean Joe Green threw a jersey at him.
Exactly.
Here, kid.
Not like he just, bought it off the rack and was like, oh, I misjudged.
Yeah. Right.
That's all right. I'll still wear it, though.
Yeah, I agree. And again, even with the Daredevil thing, I mean, I can overlook it, but it was still the idea. It's like she knew of the Hand. She knew Daredevil fought the Hand. She knew that this is a lot for one person to take on. It was just kind of like, why wouldn't you let the other superhero that know, or one of the other superheroes?
Because she was too busy doing her own karate in.
It's true. She was.
Which I was kind of bothered by. I'm like, She is not trained in these cat claw things, but she's fighting legit ninjas.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, not just legit ninjas. This is like in the Batman universe fighting the League of Assassins.
Right, like high level ninjas.
Yeah, they're like the best of the best ninjas. There's like Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I thought that
honestly bugged me a little bit too, but I was like, well, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
You can't have everything.
Yeah, and it wasn't in some like goofy, clumsy way. She was like legit fighting him. It wasn't like they ran at her and she hit him with a shovel or something like that, or just
right, something comical.
Yeah, she was ducking around the corner and got the old cheap shot in when they weren't looking. It was
Yeah, no, she's throwing blocks and parrying and
yeah.
It's like, really?
Well, I mean, Colleen's a hell of a teacher, apparently.
Apparently, she's fucking killer.
Now, what I don't understand is if it only took her like a couple of weeks to get to that level, but Danny's had 15 years and was having trouble with some of these ninjas.
This is true.
I think Kun Lung was fucked either way.
Yeah, I think we know what a true Iron Fist is.
Yeah. That's the big mix, the big swerve in season 2. Right. Night Nurse is actually Iron Fist. Oh.
Although if people were like, wait, Iron Fist starring Rosario Dawson, they'd be watching it for all the wrong reasons.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Like, this is not the Fist I thought it was going to be. So disappointed. One Channing.
Yeah, one, wow. Well, she's still in it, so I guess, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, she looked alright, but one Channing, cause...
One Channing.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's about it then. I don't really think I have anything else. Like I said, we could just keep talking and probably come up with this or that, but...
Well, that's what we do.
Yeah. I think that was pretty... I think one last thing here, which was, what did you think of the actual ending? Like when him and Colleen go to Kunlun and which made me laugh. I had a conversation with a guy in one of the groups I'm in, and he goes, what did you think of them wearing their like Abercrombie stuff as they were climbing this mountain? It didn't, they looked like they barely had any like real winter clothes on, and they're climbing like some tall mountain in China.
Yeah, like they should, be passing the dead body markers like on Himalayas.
Yeah.
Himalayas on Everest.
Right. But they certainly didn't look like they were bundled up for that.
I was not really a big fan of the ending.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, okay, clearly the hand or something is in Kong Long or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she was pissed. Like, you drugged me all the way up this mountain for what?
Yeah. You promised me whatever it was that he said that guy always is making, and there's probably not gonna,
No, I don't think it's happening because it's apparently gone. The gates to whatever are closed.
Do you know, honestly, what my biggest issue is that that's going to set up season 2 of Danny Rand doubting himself.
This is true.
Until proven otherwise. It's going to be, again, it's The Flash. It's the same concept that they do on The Flash, and it bugs the shit out of me. At some point, like The Flash, it's always like, look, he's been doing this for like 15 years. On The Flash, he's doing it for like a few years, and it's like, at some point you gotta go, I have an almost 100% capture ratio. Clearly I'm good at what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Why are you still doubting yourself? And the same with like Danny here. It's like, it's gonna grow old on me. So I hope that isn't what happens in season 2, because it's gonna annoy the shit out of me if it does. Wouldn't
it be funny if season 2 starts and it's just him and Colleen and he just goes, well, and they just go back to New York.
Yeah. I got all that money. I got
back to the dojo. I'm a billionaire.
Yeah. I got all that money. I got a sweet car. I got a, hot lady. I got this Iron Fist thing. I'm doing all right.
Yeah, I'm doing fine actually. I guess I don't need this magical sky city.
Right.
The sushi's way better in New York.
Yeah. Nice. And I don't get beat with sticks here. Or there.
For sure.
There. Right. So, there you go. I know a lot of people have really panned the show, but also a lot of them have been like, kind of the idea. It's like, yeah, it wasn't as bad as a lot of the reviews said,
Right.
Because, boy, those reviews that, before it was released, those were pretty brutal.
Yes.
So... And there you go. I'm not going to talk about the cultural appropriation of it, because I'm white as white bread. So it's really, I can't really add anything to it,
Here's the only thing I can just say is I'm about 99% sure in the comic books the character is a white guy.
He is.
And it's not like, they had him talking in some sort of awful Asian accent.
That's true. And he wasn't walking around appropriating Asian culture the whole time either.
Yeah, he wasn't wearing like a Raiden hat, in a rice field something.
I'll at least give him that enough to have that sensitivity. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so it's a white guy that in the story was in a plane crash and got found by monks and now knows Kung Fu.
Yeah.
I don't see the problem.
Yeah, and the story on it is that they basically... he was chosen because he was the best student.
Right.
Like, he had the most talent, so that's why he got picked, you know, and yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I can't really, I don't know. My biggest thing in the end is it's a comic book TV show, and I don't know, whatever. People have full rights to feel how they want about it. I'm not here to shit on anybody's feelings on that, you know? So, cause like I said, to me it wouldn't have mattered either way. They could have made him of Asian descent, and I would have been like, cool. They left him the way he was, and I was like, yeah, whatever. You know,
I mean, yeah, it's like, I don't see I did not see the outrage behind it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Right. But again, you know, we're white as fuck.
I'm not
so,
Asian.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, having said that.
I look like your stereotypical, you know, curb stomping white guy with my beard and shaved head. So.
It's true.
Whatever.
Yep. So, anyway, well, you know, let us know if, like I said, if you want to have more of a conversation with us, you can, or don't, well, whatever. And then I think that wraps it up, though, right?
I believe so.
All right, well, we'll catch you next time. SaltyLanguage.com.